Where you just like put out dope shit and like have people follow you.
You know,
That happens too.
Oh, nice.
that's what the hope is.
All right, cool. Does that sound good for you?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Should we do a sake bomb to start?
Sure.
Start her off.
Or do you want to talk about what everyone's wearing?
I'm wearing my normal Sunday attire.
Dude, I fucking
Colter is
I
a
can't
bad
relate
driver.
to you, dude.
That's my costume.
Joey, talk about your
So
costume.
Colter dressed up as I didn't know we were wearing costumes. This is just just my Sunday.
You just
This is just what I wear to bed.
That's the PJs.
Yep.
We got some good sake too. Some Hakasuru. Let's go. How you guys feeling?
Good.
Did you drink last night?
Yeah.
How much?
Not that much.
You wasn't keeping up with the Samoans?
The only Samoan on our team that drinks a lot would be Richie.
He's alive still?
I don't know how, but
That's a pretty good story.
Should we start off with the music? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the No Credentials Podcast. We've got a bad driver to my right. We've got a skeleton panda in front of me. And a plague doctor to my catty corner. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, that's the thing, actually. It is bad luck to pour your own first shot. So you got to pour. I'll pour your shot. You can't pour your own first shot of sake.
Can I say something?
Yeah, that's a fucking shot and a half over there.
My eye holes only can see Colter and Joey. I have no peripherals around that. Except I can see you now out of the corner. You freaking Skeletor.
Nice.
we drop it or just dump it?
Just dump it, yeah, for like cleanliness purposes. All right, cheers, boys.
I didn't even realize I had a shot in front of me.
Yeah, I give
You got like fucking 3 shots in that thing.
spread that across.
Cheers, boys.
What a beautiful day.
Oos. Wonderful.
They gotta have a towel.
Yeah, you're just rocking basically your smock that you fucking cook out of, right?
No, I'm a witch doctor all the time.
Okay. That's your day job.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I like cook on the side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, day job is witch doctor.
Yeah.
And so is that like banishing witches, or is that like...
It's more cleansing witches. Honestly, they get a bad rap. Like trying to like do the whole spell casting thing and like, you know, make others have terrible lives, but they're really great people. If you really get to know them, sit down.
Well,
talk
now
to
you have the shiesty on, so like when do you rob people? Is that like later into the night?
No, this is just my second costume. Going for the Peso Pluma look. I just want to be like, you know, threatened by El Chapo's gang and the cartel.
Yeah. Or we do the fucking... Whoops. So I was moving... fuck. Yeah. So I was moving a lot of weight back in the day.
You need to get like stickers and like label everything. Just so you remember.
Yeah, that would be good. Actually, it does say it. I've just got bad eyes. That one's called Monster.
Nice.
Because it's like every button's several different things. Like when you click these, right?
Yeah, exactly. So there's like... Well, there's only 2 pages of it, and then you can record stuff. So like this is...
Penis.
That was one I've recorded.
Dude, that one's lit.
Yeah.
That's hard as fuck.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. It's gangster. Yes, sir.
So how was your weekend, Colter?
It's pretty good.
We didn't
Wasn't
see you.
bad. Yeah, I know. I was up north.
Colter's fresh off of a gold medal at Jiu-Jitsu World League, and we haven't seen him at Jiu-Jitsu since.
That's
Well,
not true.
he's retired from the game.
I was there on Tuesday.
One
Nice.
day.
Yeah, just one day.
Why?
I don't know. Thursday I went to rugby practice.
He's
Monday
like, I've already figured out Jiu-Jitsu. No more rugby. No more. We're doing
I
rugby
win.
now.
I
Thursday
win.
was rugby. Friday was Choi Bar instructional.
Yeah. I'm kind of hot shit right now, so I've been all over the place.
It was pretty hard, dude. I gotta admit it.
Yeah,
It was hard
sick
as fuck.
performance.
Thank
You hadn't competed in a while too, right?
It's been like 2 or 3 years, yeah.
2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. Huh. Well,
Yeah,
good
not-
job. Getting
not-
back out there and getting a dub right away.
Yeah, last time I competed, I was still at 10th Planet, so.
Okay.
It was like way back when I first joined, when I switched from Phoenix to Scottsdale. Yeah.
Okay.
I competed in Vegas.
Were you a purple belt at the time?
Yeah. I've actually been a purple belt for most of the time that I've done jiu-jitsu. I got my purple belt in under 2 years.
Wow.
Fuck yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, not.
So you weren't a purple belt.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Should we do another shot?
Oh god.
Back to back?
Dude. We're about to start talking about aliens.
I'm
I
down
do
to
that
talk
when I'm
about
sober.
aliens. Yeah.
I think that's Freddy's most favorite topic.
Aliens?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard Freddy talk about aliens.
Maybe not aliens per se,
Thank you,
but
sir.
anything that doesn't have to do with the current reality of what reality could be. That's Freddy's conversation.
Yeah, that's the go-to.
Yeah. Wait, you can't pour yourself. Oh wait, this is the first
Oh,
one.
no. First one's bad
Okay.
luck. After that, you can pour yourself a shot. That's the rules that the bad luck demons abide by.
Nice.
He didn't pour his own first one. He gets good luck now.
That's beautiful.
Bad luck demons in the corner of the room, like, I almost got him.
Almost.
Joke's on you. I am the bad luck demon.
Cheers. Oos. It's nice doing sake bombs without sushi.
Is it though?
I mean, typically, every time I've ever done a sake bomb, I think it's been with sushi. I don't think I've ever just done a home sake bomb.
I think the last few times I've done sake bombs have only been with you. at sushi
Oh, really?
places. Yeah.
Dude, so I do like sake bombs. Remember that day that we just got turned after open mat?
Yeah.
Doing sake bombs?
Yeah.
That was nice.
That's the first time we all went to Iron Chef.
That was great.
And me and Freddy just keep going back now.
Shout out.
Oh, it's good,
Shout out
isn't it?
Iron
It's
Chef.
So good.
Remember Casey was talking shit about it, and then it's just...
Oh yeah, dude. He couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
It is a good, it's
Why
a
was
good
he talking
spot.
shit about it?
He just said it's like very mediocre sushi.
He said it was trash.
Yeah, basically.
I think Utaka has better quality, but like I think the quality of Iron Chef is like right below that. And,
For
like having
Utaka?
all you can eat, yeah. You never been to Utaka?
I've never been to Utaka.
Utaka's fucking lit.
Is it good?
It's really good. It's probably the best sushi spot I've had in here. So.
Seven
really?
string bell. 7-string bell.
Utaka actually got nationally shouted out by
No
some
way.
like food blog. Yeah. There's also another place in downtown Phoenix that got like one of the best sushi places in the country.
It's the purple rice place, isn't it?
No.
Oh.
It's frick. I can't remember what it was called.
Sushi friend?
Yes, Sushi Friend.
On
That was
Central.
it.
Oh, wow. Best sushi that I've been to is Hiro Sushi. Hiro, off like 90th Street in Biolinda. That's really good sushi. The whole place is like the fucking size of my loft.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Best
not very big.
overall or just best in Arizona?
Best I've had. It's extremely expensive. Oh, you know what? I gotta say, fucking Nobu is probably the best that I've had. It's delicious. But
Where's that
Nobu's in like the Scottsdale Camelback, like Scottsdale Fashion Square area.
okay.
That's the one that's from Malibu, the OG one that all the famous people talk about going to.
It's but honestly, like it's fucking comically expensive.
yeah.
Like
So-
I was just gonna say, I went there with an old friend, and it was $550
Jesus.
for the two of us. Yeah, and like
Joey's a fucking baller.
no, but like honestly, I just never been. I like going to nice places every now and then,
Oh, yeah.
especially at Nobu. I've never been before, and like I went, and they have this fucking Wagyu tacos that I swear to God are like the size, like just maybe a little bit bigger than my thumbnail, and they're $20 each.
Holy
What
shit.
the fuck?
I dropped like a little piece came out. I'm like, that's $5 right there.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Goodness.
it's literally comically expensive. Like it's ridiculous how it'd be easy. Like if the four of us went, it'd be easy to spend $1,000 or $1,000 a head.
Fuck.
You know,
Yeah.
easy. Like it wouldn't be difficult at all.
Go to Iron Chef, people.
That's wild. When I was in Japan, I got like a Wagyu skewer with sea urchin on it, and that was like $50, and it was like pretty fucking big. It was
Wow.
like at least like the size of my hand worth of Wagyu with sea urchin across the top of it.
That's actually a pretty good price.
It's
'Cause
it's fucking
Wagyu's crazy expensive.
Well, the
Oh,
nice
yeah.
thing is they don't have to pay for like transportation fees. It's in their country,
Yeah.
like
In
Wagyu
Japan?
and stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's what true Wagyu is. It's supposed to be from Japan, right?
Right.
Yeah, so there's like Japanese Wagyu, and then there's Australian Wagyu, and then there's American Wagyu. Japanese is like the first line. Australian Wagyu is, I think, is like second or third generation Wagyu, and then American's like fourth or fifth.
How do you make a Wagyu cow?
Well, it's like they have like years, like hundreds of years of generations of breeding of like these super lethargic, obese cows. Yeah.
My favorite type of cow.
And they make the best tasting cow. Like they always talk about like the beer and the massaging. Like that's somewhat
They give
true.
them beer?
Yeah, that was like it was a rumored, and I think some people do it, but it's not like across the board a general thing. But like they've gotten so, or these cows have like grown up so like pampered for so long that no matter how much you even pamper like just a regular Angus beef now, it'll never be like that because it's just like it's generational fat now.
Yeah, part of it is like legit genetics.
Yeah, so you could-
they're born fat.
It's only like I think it's only like $70. You can buy Japanese Wagyu sperm from a bull.
Wow.
And make half-breed
Freddy just
Wagyu
lit
here.
up.
You can make a half-breed Wagyu here because like I've talked to some of the farmers up in Flagstaff about it. But like, and they're like, I can basically make my own Wagyu. I'm like, it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's close. It's way
Yeah.
better than Angus, black Angus, but it's not Japanese.
It's like the Hercules of cows.
Yeah.
Like half god, half person.
Yeah, pretty much. Demi cow, dude.
Yeah. A demi cow. It is delicious. I love some good food.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
outside of jiu-jitsu, food is probably like a close second to my favorite thing on the planet.
Wow. I know. Honestly, it's the best.
It's
That-
fucking fantastic.
That's why it's kind of funny, the whole rolls on rolls thing. It's like jujitsu and food.
Yeah.
Was there like one of you that created that, or was it like how'd that begin?
We're just bullshitting one night, and then Moss and I, we were just like cooking. Like Moss cooks like
Yeah.
all the time. When we like leave jujitsu, he goes home, cooks like a fucking gourmet meal,
Oh, dude, I've had a couple on fight nights and stuff. You're
Oh,
a
yeah.
great cook.
Oh, he's
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you.
He's so good.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
He goes hard. And so we're just chilling one night eating. We're like, what are our two favorite things? Jiu-jitsu and food. And so like, yeah, that's pretty much how we started our channel. We're trying to get more into like the food too. And like, it's just hard, like videotaping. Like it's actually like really annoying. Would you say?
Yeah.
It's like annoying to like
it
cook?
like takes cooking, at least from the cooking side of things, takes like a hour process turns into like a 3-hour process.
Yeah, just
cooking meal.
just recording it or the editing part of it.
No, the editing's
recording.
that's
Easy.
cake. Just the recording.
Oh,
like getting
wow.
lighting set up, make sure you're getting all
Make sure
your
you're
shots
getting good
in.
shots.
Yeah.
Good. You know, one thing I think I sent it to you. That like how that person did it was like a single camera angle and then just fucking did everything like switching up from there. So it's
Yeah.
like a constant shot and then everything's changing. Like throw some shit into camera. Maybe that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, there's so many. I feel like there's so many now like food creators.
Oh, so many.
that,
Yeah.
Like, I definitely wanted to take pieces from them that I think that's what makes them good about being viral, but I definitely want to try to do. I think we have a good thing going with how
Yeah.
we've been recording.
yeah, create your own like kind of
Yeah.
unique way to do it.
Yeah.
And we're trying to
100%.
figure that out. Like it's like we're constantly like thinking of like ways to make it cool.
Yeah.
I think like we have the guy to do it, Massimo right
Yeah.
here. We
Got the
just need
chef
to-
skills.
Yeah, we just need to figure out how to make it
The editing
ours.
and stuff.
And I
Yeah.
think we will figure that out. I mean, our plan eventually is to have a YouTube channel and like train at random gyms and then go to like a local place
Yeah.
and like videotape like them making food and us eating it.
That's good. Yeah. You know what I really like is you doing like the post class interviews and stuff, or even just doing interviews at the Buttersmith Fight Club the day before. That was fucking sick.
Those
Yeah.
will come out soon.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that was sick. I was thinking even like maybe next one, like doing a day of, like walking to people, just talking to stuff, just basically like on site reporting. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The hard thing is we want everybody to be in it from our gym. So like this might be like a whole week type of thing. Like that video that we posted, like what's your favorite thing about jiu-jitsu? Like you weren't even in that video.
No,
because we
yeah.
didn't see you that week, and which we thought was like a travesty. But we like we want to get as many people from One Love as possible.
Yeah.
That's one of like my like biggest goals is like to put One Love on the map with
Dude.
this like type of channel.
Fuck yeah.
To like if you or like Luke or one of us got like a deal from our videos, that'd be so sick.
Yeah.
Like some type of sponsorship.
Oh yeah,
That'd
absolutely.
be so sick.
Yeah, it'd be sick. Dude, I love it. I love how much One Love is growing too. It's like crazy to see from like when it was like, you know, just a 800 square foot
When it was
space.
just you and Issa.
Yeah, literally a lot of the times it'd be like just me and him. Because like that's how it is when you start up a gym. Like there's not a fucking, you know, regular amount of people that come. Sometimes I would come to class and it'd be like just me and Issa.
And that's why Joey's so fucking good. Yeah. You know? That's why like
You
he's
have
the nastiest. in One
Basically,
Love.
privates that
Yeah.
are just
Yeah.
From white belt, just like tons of privates. Yeah,
Dude,
That's hard.
yeah.
Yeah, that was weird for me because I started during COVID, and when I started there, I'd like go to the last class at night. It would be like me, Tree, and Gabe because we all work together, so we'd all go together. And it'd be like sometimes it would just be us three, and then Issa But like it was cool, like seeing as like places opened up again, people showing up.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. Going from nothing, no people in there.
Did you guys start around the pandemic time?
I started June of 2020.
Oh wow! So right after, huh? You'd probably had to like fucking send Issa some secret mail just to have him let you in. That was like when we were doing like the secret fight club where he'd black out the windows and shit, and like you had to knock to go in. You literally like lock the door.
Was it like a secret knock?
Yeah, no, I mean it was just a knock, but
Yeah, the door was always the door was locked. He would take your temperature when you come in. He'd give you hand sanitizer, and then he'd be like, "If anybody comes in, we're playing golf," because golf got like approved.
yeah.
That's like the first time I went to 10 Planet Oceanside. All of their windows were covered. Like everything was just like closed up. They weren't like advertising that they were still doing shit.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I just showed up and they were still doing open mat, and that room gets disgustingly sweaty. But like with the black tape and stuff all over the windows, it's especially disgusting in there. It was fucking gross.
Oceanside?
Yeah.
Is that what Richie's gym?
That's Geo. Richie's is San Diego.
Okay, San Diego. Yeah, I've trained at Richie's gym a few times.
Yeah, I love San Diego. I think it's dope.
That is a really cool spot.
That's a place on our list too that we want to go to.
Yeah, I keep telling them we got to go back to. I've been there a couple times for like competition classes, and they board up. So they've got like a big like almost like a garage door. It's like a warehouse door, like roll up door.
At Oceanside?
At Richie's gym in San Diego.
Okay, yeah.
So you've been there before, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like they've got that like half wall by like the big windows right there, right?
Okay, yeah.
So that like closes down as like it's almost like a warehouse type of a thing.
Interesting.
They close that and then turn on these heat lamps above the mat during competition class,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's fucking awful.
Oh,
like,
wow.
The mat is hot to touch. Everybody's just sweating
Like
profusely.
balls.
It's
Wow.
it's so awful. It's the most awful experience, but it's so fucking dope.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think
What's that feeling like when you leave the gym? Like
When you get outside and like hit that like refreshing air, especially like San Diego being like right off the ocean, you get that like it's insane. Yeah.
Wow, that's nice. Did you guys? Do you guys ever play football?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like you ever like after a hard practice like fucking take off your pads finally.
Yeah.
You're just like finally just out
just
of
get
that.
completely naked, get into the shower.
Circle jerk time.
Wait, you don't play football naked?
What kind of football you guys play?
That's rugby.
Oh.
I've had tits for like 30 minutes and I'm already fucking.
Wow. Are those like legit like for stuff in your bra?
Yeah, dude.
Oh wow.
Fake tits.
Where'd you get those?
Why do you why do you have those?
Keep that to myself.
like you were supposed to wear a gi,
Yeah.
which would be a costume for you because
Yeah.
you never wear
Right.
one.
Yeah. Mr. Irrelevant.
How'd you go from that to this?
I don't know. I went by.
Needed to be a surprise.
Yeah. I wanted. Like he said, I blew the surprise when I said, "Oh, I should wear a gi," and you know, kind of blew the joke. And then I thought I was like, "Oh, I'll just grab a dress and come dressed up as a chick."
Oh, that's normal. Yeah.
Nice.
yeah.
You guys are-
Wait, so you have fake tits and a dress at your
Yeah.
house?
No, they weren't at my house.
sure.
Listen, this is what I like to do on Sundays. Okay.
With the long beard, it's like unusual.
This is how I got ready for Jiu-Jitsu World League. Fake tits, a dress in the mirror. You're gonna get gold.
You're like, you think I paid for that fucking intro fee?
Hey, bitches and gays don't wear this. Fucking champions do.
Let's go. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I was like, if I don't get a gold, I'm either a bitch or a gay. So I better I better show up, dude.
And I show up and get one of these.
You were rolling like that because it was absolute dominance, like
Dude.
the way you won.
What's crazy is like the Choi bar is obviously a super effective like armbar setup. I think it's probably like the biggest armbar setup like right now. I feel like the Choi bar is like really
It's very trendy.
like yeah, definitely. And it's something that's always been a part of my game. And I think that like mechanically it's very similar to like the K guard entry that I used to get to like backside 50-50.
yeah.
Just instead of crunching on the knee, I'm crunching on the shoulder.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not something that like I necessarily practice or like rep out all the time. I hit it every once in a while.
Yeah.
But I feel like Moss and Freddy leading up to Jiu-Jitsu World League kept telling me, they asked me like, oh, what's your game plan? And I was like, I don't really have a game plan. Like I'm not thinking about anything. And they both kept telling me, they're like, you know, your armbar is just as good as your leg locks. Like I know you can't go out there and hit leg locks like you like to do, but like you can armbar pretty much anybody from anywhere. Like just go out there and fucking trust your armbars.
Oh, nice.
And like that wasn't a part, like I was visualizing every match in my head, and honestly like the guillotine was the biggest part of my visualization. I was like, people are probably going to try to shoot, score points, I'm going to snatch up a guillotine and
Yeah.
try to strangle him. And like that's not what happened.
Choi barred everyone.
Choi barred everybody.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
And I think it's just these guys like manifested it for me. Like they just kept putting it out there and like it just fucking happened. And it just felt like it was just instinctual. Like I didn't think about it. I just grabbed a shoulder crunch, threw the leg over, and it was just there. Every time it was there.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, because I asked you afterwards. I'm like, is that like a go-to or is that a game plan or it just happened? And it just
happened.
fucking happened. That's sick. To 3 Choi bars in a row.
Yeah.
So were heel hooks not allowed in your division?
No, so I couldn't reap, I couldn't heel hook, I couldn't knee bar, no toe holds. The only thing that I could do was like straight ankles and like straight ankle variations. Like an Aoki lock would have been okay, or an Estima lock would have been okay. And actually, the first guy that I went against, Matty from 10th Planet, he actually didn't even know that we couldn't do like leg locks and stuff because he kept trying to hit like honey hole entries. He kept trying to backstep.
Matty Geiger. Right?
Yeah,
he competed at the Buttersmooth Fight
right.
Club.
Yeah, against Brandon. He kept trying to backstep into honey hole, and I kept shutting it down and like trying to like maneuver around it. But the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like,
You should just let it
if
happen.
I just let one of these happen, like he's gonna get DQ'd. He must not know that he's gonna get DQ'd. But obviously, I don't want to win off of a fucking DQ.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I want to go out there and like do jujitsu and get a fucking real
Yeah.
win. But it was super weird. And I talked to him after the match. I was like, "Were you trying to set up honey hole?" And he's like, "Yeah, I kept trying to backstep, and you were shutting it down." And I'm like, "You realize you would have gotten DQ'd for that? Like that's not allowed in our division. We can't do that." He had no idea.
This is actually a question I have. Is honey hole, because I feel like in some ways that's not reaping. Like if you go to honey hole and you have like a straight ankle on the opposite leg, like that's fine.
That's
right?
not reaping.
No,
Yeah,
it's
fine.
not.
Yeah.
But
Maybe that's what he's going for?
But here's the thing: is I've had the first time that I did Jiu Jitsu World League was the first time that it was in Arizona, and that's the only other time that I've done Jiu Jitsu World League. And I had a teammate of mine get DQ'd for honey hole. The ref called it a reap and DQ'd him. Like
Was
immediately on the
it a
spot.
true like reap or was it
No,
like
it was straight honey hole. Straight up
okay
honey hole.
without like an overhook grip?
Yeah, no overhook. He got straight into to honey hole and he was reaching over for the other leg. Didn't have any control over the leg that was in honey hole.
And he got
And
DQ'd?
yeah, they stopped it right away. As soon as he threw that leg over into honey hole, they stopped it right away.
And these refs might be like blue belts though, right?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, typically they won't get someone like that's purple belt or less, but I mean, there'll be plenty of purple belts reffing. A lot of them, I think.
Well, I had one of the Los Santos brothers, so I mean, he's a black belt or a brown belt.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're both black belts.
Yeah,
or
they're both
just-
black belts now.
Yeah, so I'm sure he would have known better, but even still, like when I talked to Matty after the match, he had no idea that we couldn't do heel hooks. So if he had gone to honey hole, yeah, maybe he wouldn't have gotten DQ'd right away for that, but he would have been fishing for heel hooks. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
well, also too, a backstep to honey hole isn't necessarily effective if that's not a legal a technique. Like, what would be effective way to get a honey hole would be like maybe like the reverse X entry from bottom,
Right.
and then like then use it as a sweep or to pass guard or something
Yeah.
like that. Not necessarily from top to bottom.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Why didn't you guys do World League?
fucking pussies.
I'm a fucking pussy, I guess. When I got there, I was like, I immediately regretted it.
I
think
kept
not
asking
doing
you
it.
guys about it too.
I just feel like a little fucked up right now. Like my shoulders, stuff like that. It's an excuse.
You just
but-
haven't been rolling live much lately.
Yeah, I just don't feel great. Like my neck, my shoulders just feels a little weird.
My neck,
But as soon
my
as
back.
my pussy and my no, I wish I did it. Just walking in there, like the atmosphere looked fucking awesome.
It was pretty dope. That's the second time I've been to Mullet Arena. I went for a hockey game, and both times it's like, it feels like a big arena, but it's so tight knit that like the energy is just so like close together. Like it's a really really good spot.
Nice. That's so cool. That's really cool.
Why don't you compete?
Honestly, I don't know. I think for me, like I keep saying, like with my work schedule, I mean my work schedule sucks right now, so I don't have a lot of off time. But I think that's getting into my head because I don't like when we double golded at white belt together, or when we both gold at white belt, I was doing like 13 classes a week. And so I was like grinding so hard, and now I can only because I work nights now, I can only work like 2 classes a week, so I just don't have the inner confidence to.
You're doing 2 classes a week?
Yeah, that's it.
That's not very much.
No.
You should be doing like minimum 4.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like, cause I only have cause now I work nights, and like it's really
Do you, like, train
I
in the
could also
morning?
just be lazy. Yeah, I really could just get up for the 7 a.m. class.
Yeah.
But I haven't been, and so like now that training's a little lower in my confidence for competing, and then I have the excuse of, I just work the day of competition, so I don't have to.
Well, I think you're like one of the toughest rounds at One Love. I think you should be competing because I think you'd fuck everybody up.
Yeah. You're tough as fuck for sure. Yeah, part of it's just like continuing to get out there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna catch some L's on the way. That's just part of competition. That's just part of fucking life. Doing anything difficult, you're gonna catch some L's on the way.
I lost to a fucking 16-year-old dude.
He's also like
16-year-old
half your size.
The 16-year-old may be a phenom though.
Yeah,
so.
dude, it's a 16-year-old beast for sure.
He's very good.
should've been.
He's very
Yeah,
good.
that kid's good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe you had the opportunity. You got that double leg at the end. It ended up being a ref's decision. If you would have got
was
that
close.
double leg and then immediately stood up, start passing guard, gets him out, some good attempts.
Yeah.
Who
I think if
knows?
you had just gone off sooner, which I feel like it happens a lot in your matches that you lose, like you wait too long.
I don't do anything.
to finally pull the trigger,
Yeah, exactly.
like to maybe
you pull
come
you
back.
pull the trigger too late, and then at that point it's like it looks good on the refs at the end of the match, but they're gonna the first like 75% of the match are like they didn't really do shit.
Like
So-
Cheeto Vera.
What did Cheetah do?
Cheeto Marlon. What is it?
Marlon Vera.
Cheeto?
Yeah.
Yeah. He like always has that issue where he like start like a 3-round fight.
Gets going too late.
Yeah, it doesn't open up until halfway through the second round.
It's like Tyron Woodley. Like
him too.
Won't open up till late, especially in his later career. After he like lost his belt, like he just wouldn't fucking let his hands go till maybe later. And then when he fought fucking Jake Paul's bitch ass, he like almost had him out, and then just like was waiting.
Clarissa Shields and
Super
everyone
weird.
says he won the first fight. I was watching it when I was working at the club because we had it playing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he won that fight.
Well, it should have been a knockdown.
Yeah.
You should have had a knockdown.
Yeah, when he was on the ropes,
Ropes
yeah.
kept
Yeah.
him up, yeah.
Well, also too, he should have just fucking let his hands go. Like once he got him on the ropes and like start hitting him, but he was just I don't know, just going slow.
Oh yeah, he kept waving his hand around, dude. He was trying to taunt, and it was
Yeah.
doing nothing.
Weak sauce.
Yeah.
I've not watched a single Jake Paul fight.
I think I watched that one because I think that was the last like chance that was a first opportunity where it's like, okay, he's fighting someone, legit. Like hopefully he just gets knocked out, and then he didn't. And I haven't watched any.
Yeah.
I fucking hate those things, honestly.
I watched Mayweather versus Logan, but that's it.
See, I didn't watch that either.
Yeah, that's the only one that I watched.
I watched that one. I watched the Nate Diaz one.
I watched the Nate Diaz
Anderson
one.
Silva. Anderson Silva is my favorite fighter of all time.
Anderson is the man.
I have to watch him.
Yeah.
It was a little sad watching him fight. I mean, he was beating
Hey.
Jake for the whole fight until the knockdown.
I mean, yeah, that's crazy. He knocked him down. Like he was
Yeah.
able to land on him.
Jake's fucking good, dude.
Yeah, and to be honest, like good on them. He's making a fucking ton of money just doing these like first show matches, and so it's not like true boxing. It's not like the highest expression of boxing by
Right.
any means, but they're making a ton of
Entertainment.
money. Yeah, it's good entertainment. That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
just like it's semi WWE esque. It's
Yeah,
like
definitely.
they're just making these big name fights when in reality it's a 24-year-old kid against some like 40-year-old guy who's way past his prime.
Yeah,
Here's the real question: like, are you beating Jake Paul in a street fight?
In a street
You
fight,
can do anything you want.
oh dude, I could double leg him.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Get to his
Double
back.
leg him, get him on the ground, start fucking raining elbows.
It's game over.
what about
Oh.
Bradley Martin? You beating Bradley Martin?
I think I could fuck up Bradley.
He's 260, bro.
He's
He's
260.
260, bro.
But he's.
I'll catch him on a
260.
day he's 259. I'll fucking pick him up and just whop.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun to watch, dude. I think you would absolutely rape him.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
think there's anything to it, dude. Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. The thing is like getting him to the ground will be difficult no matter what. That's like for sure. Because he's just a strong motherfucker. Like picking up anyone who's very big, it's difficult to shoot like and be successful. You
Right.
could shoot, get to his back, jump on his back. Then there is the actual chance that he just jumps on concrete and like lands on your back.
Yeah.
I mean that's a chance. Although if you saw that one video of this like Brazilian guy where some fucking gym challenger came in and he did that. He took his back. The guy stood up and he went to jump backwards
Yeah.
and he let go and slammed him down.
I saw that.
If you could like be ready for one of those, something like that, that'd be good.
The thing is, though, you can shoot for like 30 minutes on him
Yeah.
to an hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you've got time.
He can't defend for 30 minutes.
That's a great point too. His cardio is nowhere near like
Trash.
Yeah, his
2 minutes. I
cardio's
give him
got to
2
be
minutes.
trash.
I
Yeah.
give him 2 minutes in a fight.
If you just start lighting up his leg too, like I've got like a, I'm not anything. I've probably got like a 3-stripe white belt, like leg kick. I bet you I could just fucking light up that calf a bunch of times. Get him focused on that.
He's a
And-
big bodybuilder, though. Like, he's stiff. He's not
Yeah.
going to be able to. He doesn't
Yeah.
have combos to hit you with that you've never seen.
No way. He's going to be slow too.
Yeah.
Joey also has like the meanest duck under
I got a pretty
That-
good duck.
that it'd just be murder.
You got to
under there.
engage with wrestling though to hit the duck under. It's tough to hit like that if someone is not engaging
Well,
in
but
wrestling.
that's the thing. I feel like a lot of people that don't train, like if they're getting outstruck, they immediately, like any street fight video, the second someone's getting outstruck, they immediately just try to grab. Like just grab upper body.
Grabbing you is not going to be fun.
Well, I think especially with like how much bigger he is, he probably would feel more comfortable grabbing and just like pushing forward.
Yeah,
which would just open up the duck.
Ooh, that is true. Yeah, if he's just going forward, that would be like his game plan. Just fucking
Right.
hold someone.
Well, that's
Yeah.
because he says that all the time. He's like, I just grab him and just like squish him.
Yeah.
That's not how real life works.
It's
but
such a fucking nincompoop like take on how fighting works.
Like, who's the basketball player that just said if they trained for a year, they could beat
God.
John Jones?
Did he even say that? I don't even think he said train for a year.
I think he just said at his current state. Yeah, like he could just like, in a fight, like he's dangerous. Yeah. Yeah. How fucking dumb. I'd love for Demetrius Johnson and Bradley to throw down just so people can see.
So he wants to do that jiu-jitsu match.
Yeah. Well, no, they should just fight. Like
Yeah.
a fucking MMA fight. Yeah.
I think it's better for
no cage either. Just like an open, just that way. Some big like a Jay Page's type of gym where there's 10,000 square feet of mat space or
There you go.
something.
Well, that's like Sean O'Malley said, like when he was on his podcast, he was like, if we're stuck in a tight room, he's like, it might be a little hard for me because you can close the distance and you can't move. He's like, but if we're just on the street, he's like, you're not touching me.
Yeah. Although, Sean, I think, is also being a little humble there. Dude, if he did that fucking step back right hand like he did to Aljo to fucking Bradley, I don't care who you are. You get hit on the button like that, you're going to sleep.
yeah,
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
absolutely. Especially if you're not used to getting hit like that.
Yeah, exactly. You think Bradley trains his neck? Like he does neck ups?
No,
Probably
he maybe
not.
gives head.
He's like, that's his neck.
He doesn't have a wife.
when I was because like when I did football in high school, football ended. I was trying to like find a way to stay in shape. I started boxing for a couple of years, and this guy who was my trainer at the time, fucking Danny, he was like a professional heavyweight. I forget his last name. So this Irish fucker, just a big motherfucker, like 6'3", 6'4", heavyweight, like 230, 240. Just big guy. He would have this thing like a head strap that goes around your head and hang a 45-pound plate from it and just do this like neck ups to make a strong neck. He's like, the stronger your neck is, the harder you are to get knocked out.
80s, 90s type of workout.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Dude, just a fucking
Rocky.
unit.
That's the equivalent of wearing, what did they wear on their shoulder pads, the football players? The neck brace?
Oh, yeah. The U,
That's
what's
the-
it called? Like the horseshoe.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
dude.
That's the equivalent to that. Training your neck is the equivalent to wearing that on the field.
That's how you know, like, on the other side, if they have a horseshoe on.
Yeah, the middle linebacker has that
Like,
on.
don't mess with that guy.
Dude,
See you next round of beers.
Sounds good.
yes. Happily. Did you not finish your first one?
I didn't, I guess.
Wow, huh?
We'll just drink that real quick, and then we'll start the second one.
Well,
Freddy.
like, first off, just like
leave
quit
it.
being a pussy.
Just finish that one, dude.
I'll just leave it for a sake bomb. How about that?
Fine, dude. You're right. God.
You're just going to be behind.
You are technically behind.
This is actually like
thank you,
when
sir.
we get sake bombs. This is something I like take a lot of thought into. Is like, how much beer should I put in this glass?
Usually, like I like to think like a third.
I just fucking send it. I don't know.
Thank God we
With these, like maybe almost half.
I'm a little more conscious with it if we're gonna drop the sake glass in there because
Yeah.
I don't want the beer to just like
I
fucking
feel like that's a
overflow everywhere.
fucking Neanderthal way to do sake bombs. Like just fucking
I love it.
pour it in. It's
don't do
just
it that
so
often, but I
messy.
love
I mean, if you're at a restaurant, you don't gotta clean it. It's
Well,
fine.
I mean, that's even the worst. Like, I mean, you're getting the table all fucking messy. It's like, who's like 3,000 people have drank out of that glass, and you're just like pouring it like in your.
That's true. I mean, they
Shit.
clean everything though. I mean, you're eating off the plates just as many
If you've
people have
ever
ate
worked
those
at a
plates.
restaurant, they're not like taking the time.
No,
on
I
each
know.
individual
yeah,
glass.
I have worked in restaurants, but like you're still eating off the plates. It's
Yeah,
the same
I know.
thing.
Well, someone with a cold sore was just fucking licking that plate.
I think good restaurants take care of their like. I'll give a shout out. Fuck my front of house at the restaurant I work at, but I'll give a shout out.
What restaurant
To
is
the
that?
back of the house.
More Italian. But I mean, I think they do a pretty good job cleaning, like, and polishing glassware. I will say that.
Is this
Oh, did
Dunsky
you already
too?
pour your
Maybe because they're
sake?
trying to kill
You
time
poured
and
it
not
in?
go back out on the
Yeah,
floor.
we're almost
Nice, dude.
nice.
I didn't pour mine in already. I swear.
Oh.
I want to go back and actually talk some shit about Iron Chef because I was fucking insulted last time I was there.
Oh, why?
Why? Oh yeah, you were.
Shit, that was bullshit. I'll
I like
tell
the
you
girl.
after the.
I like the girl a lot.
Fuck that.
Cheers.
Oh, wow. Mess.
no.
You're wearing a dress and you made a mess.
I almost took it with the mask on.
Fuck, we're gonna. We've already had a sake. Should I go pull up the rest of it?
Should we just?
The mini fridge only fits so much.
That's fine. Should we put the sake in the microwave? Get some hot sake.
You know, the reason that they do hot sake is to mask the impurities. It's the most.
Oh.
It's the worst type of sake you can get is the hot sake.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the hot kasudara is like a fucking 3 steps above that.
I thought it was just supposed to be like a warm hug.
No, yeah, it's gross. Yeah, they do it because it's the shittiest sake they have. They warm it to mask the impurities.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that.
You
Yeah.
didn't know that, dude?
No, I'm not.
Loser.
I'm not a sommelier.
Yeah. Oh, good, great word right there.
Yeah.
Sommelier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a wine expert, right?
Yeah, someone who who's professionally like adequate to describe wines and descriptions.
That's a pretty good word.
Yeah, French word.
Okay, there we go.
I did do some culinary school and like 4 years of French, but it really doesn't help me. So
Wow. 4 years of French?
yeah, I did French like all of middle school and then freshman and sophomore year of high school.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
What do you know from it?
nothing.
Fucking fuck.
I know, fuck you.
Yeah,
Right? Don't people say excuse my French when they cuss?
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
I don't get why.
I think people don't understand French because I feel like French speakers are really like it sounds like cursive.
also think-
French is one of the nicest languages.
I think it's probably like,
Sounds pretty.
I feel like most people think that French people are rude.
That's
And
true.
I
like
think
when
they
you're
are
when you're
rude.
when you're cussing, like it comes across as like being like rude and like an asshole or like French people.
And that's why they say
That makes
excuse
sense.
my
I mean,
French.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't like French people.
My grandfather reads a fictional book about like, so he's Italian from Sicily, but he reads this fictional book and it like talks about like some French army coming to Sicily and like slaughtering people. And he's like, the French are just so fucked up people.
You have to
I was
say it,
like-
you have to say it in his voice.
He's like, oh, these are French people are not good. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
Oh, like this book was written like yesterday by some random fictional. And he's like, no, it's not real. I'm like,
How
what?
many times has he read this book?
Dude, like 17 times, and it's like a it's like a 600-700 page book, and he's read it like fucking over and over and over. It just doesn't stop.
That's
reading
awesome. He meets a French person that like is a nice dude, and he's like, I gotta remind myself
it. Yeah,
how bad they are.
he's gonna just try to fight and then just fall because he's
Wow.
like 82.
Get up though.
Is he
Get
born
up.
in Italy?
Yeah, born in Sicily.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, born during World War II.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah,
My-
so he'll use that sometimes. We'll go out and he'll be like, they're like, are you a veteran? He's like, yeah. I'm like, what?
He's
And he's like, I was alive.
How old's your nana?
Like 82. Yeah, something like that. Or 80. He was born in 1942, so 80.
Wow. Yeah, my grandpa was...
So 81. Fuck, God, I can't do math.
Wow. My grandpa was born in Germany. His name was Helmut. Helmut Vanna. Yeah, a real
Helmut.
German name.
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
He was kicked. He was...
My kind of guy.
My
That was
friend
just a high
Kyle,
five, right? That was just a high five.
that was a high five.
my friend Kyle. Have you seen Kyle? He's about this tall.
And that's why we are doing the second bomb.
No, he was, pure German. Fucking... His name's Helmut. He's, like, pure...
You can
he
say
was
Nazi.
He was kicked out of his house when he was 13 years old by the Nazis.
Oh, wow.
In like Nazi Germany, yeah, because they were just overtaking different parts of the fucking land or something. And
my
if you
God.
weren't, if you were in the wrong area, your house got taken from you, your wealth got taken from you. You could be a very rich person. Bank accounts were seized. Everything was just taken
Damn.
from you. And so him and his family were kicked out on the streets at 13 years old.
That's
Wow.
wild.
Yeah. Through Nazi Germany.
This is your uncle?
That's my grandpa.
Oh fuck.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because I guess luckily for my grandfather, he was 3 years old when the war ended. So he was also born post Mussolini, like after they killed him. I'm pretty sure. It's like he didn't have to. I don't think experience Italy when it was in like probably its worst state.
Wow.
But he himself grew up very poor. Like he always talks about, he grew up vegetarian, not by choice. They just couldn't afford proteins.
That's the worst.
That is terrible.
Vegetarians, I mean.
Losers.
Not
I'm
being
kidding.
poor.
I'm kidding. Vegans are worse.
Vegans are
Literally.
terrible. We're just
But he
bad
was probably
people.
growing up when they were still like rebuilding everything. Because didn't Italy get fucking face
Wrecked?
fucked?
Did it? I'm not sure. By Nazi Germany?
Yeah, I know Russia did. Russia got
No,
absolutely.
I don't think.
Well, no,
no,
'cause-
because they were an ally for
Yeah,
the
'cause
most of it.
Benito Mussolini was a fascist. Fascism started in
Yeah.
Italy.
Yeah,
But they still got destroyed.
no, I think he kept it like because by the time the Italian citizens overthrew Mussolini and hung him in the street, I think
Hanged.
Germany.
Hung means like big penis.
He was probably hung.
Hanged.
He was
He's
probably hung. I think Germany was already on its way out.
Yeah, well, and they were allies. Like
Yeah.
Germany, Nazi Germany would have not gone into Italy, but there was a lot of fighting in Italy
Yeah.
and like around, like in like the Swiss Alps and stuff like that.
I heard. I mean, because I'm like, I love shit like this, so I watch like documentaries on stuff like this, and like beautiful cities in Italy were like just
Wrecked.
destroyed.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Like,
Most of Europe was just
Yeah, just
absolutely
wrecked.
fucked.
Well,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was like the goal for a lot of them, right? It was like to kill the common person. They would just bomb cities.
Right.
They wanted to kill like the German worker. Or they wanted to like,
Mm.
you know, just the average citizen. That's what they wanted to like take out.
Jesus.
Did you know that Hitler was fucking homeless for like a long time? Like was homeless right after World War One.
What a success story.
Right? In my head, that's what I'm thinking too. You see these guys on the streets that are
Rags
fucking
to riches, bro.
smoking crack and all that shit.
Rags
Like,
to riches.
that could be the next Hitler, dude.
Yeah,
Straight up.
you never know.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Yeah, he went from homeless to like fucking taking over the world.
Well, he was a drug addict too. Like if you watch videos, you can see him fucking
he
like
was
hop
tweaking.
rack.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's that video
Hopped
of him
on.
like hopped on
At the
like, meth
Olympics.
or
At the
coke.
Olympics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
What was
That's-
he
yeah,
doing
that's what I'm
exactly?
talking about.
I remember that video.
I think he was just at the Olympics. They were just watching.
He was
Yeah.
just like
Dude, he's just like
tweaking.
yeah.
He looks like downtown LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
He was like a homeless artist. Like he tried to get into this art school. They didn't accept him, and he became homeless. And he would like sell art in the streets. And then because he was a veteran, I think this was definitely in Germany because he's from Austria.
Yep.
In Germany, he like ran into like something in like a gym where they were talking about like I think it was for like people who were in the World War One and they were like trying to get over their like trauma.
Yeah.
It was like a AA meeting in a gym, and that's how the Nazi Party started.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Jesus.
and they would like
Just
pretty
some
much
boys
circle
like
up,
chopping it up
chopping it
on
up.
a pod,
Yeah, talking about their trauma
dressed
and
as a
like,
woman.
and it just got bigger and bigger and bigger
That's
until they
correct.
were seen as like a government party.
Dude,
Wow.
they were just at a bar drinking. They're like, he's like, these Jews. Are they that good?
it was probably like
Fuck these guys.
it was probably like a Jewish art school, and he's like, I will have the last laugh.
How crazy. How
You
fucking
know except
wild.
me.
That's so funny.
I know except you.
It's so crazy how fucking recent that was. Like it's
Yeah.
like incredible. Like it was literally my grandpa. Like
Less
was
than 100 years ago.
that's
Yeah.
insane. Yeah, like a lot less. Like fucking 80 years ago.
Yeah.
there's
Look at
people
us now.
alive
We got
who are.
furries at the park. And
Yeah, there's
Dudes
people
dressed as
alive.
chicks.
Yeah, right. There's people alive right now that were like in concentration camps.
Right.
Yeah.
That's insane.
that's
My great grandmother, before she passed, she lived through both world wars, the Depression. Like she experienced so much, like from nothing to like the modern day conveniences that we
The
have.
first
like,
Apple iPhone.
it's fucking crazy. She won one of the first like car giveaways in the country. She won like a Plymouth Barracuda, like way back.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
That's
like
fucking
the amount of shit that she went through. Like we see a lot of technological advances like nowadays, but nothing like what they would have fucking. It's just absolutely insane to think about. Like
wild.
going from like no computers or anything to like smartphones, like carrying a computer around in your fucking
Yeah.
pocket.
Yeah.
Like we see shit that's crazy, but like it's feels normal.
We're
like it
still
feels like
living
just
our
like the
life,
next.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still living our
Exactly.
We don't know. Something crazy could happen in the next.
Yeah.
I mean, AI. Look at AI right now. AI is crazy right now. Think
Yeah.
about in 20 years. Hopefully, they can grow our dicks.
That's like
That's the future, man.
there was a scene from the show 1923, which is a spinoff of Yellowstone. There was a scene where they're like riding their horses through like Bozeman, Montana, and there's a guy selling gas-powered like refrigerators, and he was like, "You can keep your food cold," and he's like, "What? What are you talking about?
Wow.
Like that
Yeah.
food only lasts like a couple days." He's like, "No, you can have it for 2 weeks." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "That's a crazy concept," because I guess we just take refrigeration.
Yeah,
for
we take
granted.
all of
We
it.
take
for
everything
granted.
for granted.
You know,
Yeah.
air conditioning wasn't like widely adopted until like the 60s or 70s. You know, it's like one of my theories of why Arizona is like still like such a novice or like still such in an infant stage comparatively to a lot of other states. Like, you know, people have been living in California since, you know, it's been California.
Yeah.
It's been beautiful weather there constantly. But if you lived in Arizona before air conditioning existed,
Yeah.
you were just a psychopath.
I feel like Arizona is a testament to like humankind's arrogance. We're like, oh, it's hot as balls out here. Nothing grows. There's nothing to eat. All the animals are fucking super dangerous. And we're gonna make it work.
You got danger noodles with rattles on the end.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what I like thinking when I'm like hunting in the fall and I'm like out there with either my bow or my rifle, and I'm like, thank God I have like a tent to go back to,
Right.
because like I'm just walking in the middle of nowhere and I'm like, this would be terrible at night. This
Dude,
would be
Like
terrible. during
living
the
that,
day.
Yeah.
like just
Yeah.
like that's your living quarters.
Imagine like all the natives, like Native Americans, like that just walked around like,
Hard.
dude, the hardest motherfuckers.
No shoes.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it was like, or if you think like go back thousands of years ago, and there was like all sorts of different creatures, like the short-faced bear and the North American lion.
Oh, in North America.
Yeah, the dire wolf.
You know, that's what they say. I think that's or maybe not
That's Game of Thrones shit.
maybe not those animals specifically, but that's why they say like kids are naturally afraid of monsters. They think it's because in our early evolution, cats were one of our main predators, and so like big cats that would
Yeah.
attack you. So a fucking if you think of like a cat like getting after a mean like panther or you know fucking lion, the faces that they make in the dark, they just sneak up on you
And their
kill
eyes
you.
glow.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
wish one of those pussies would. I've
at you.
spent a lot of my life wishing that would happen. Pop, pop, pop. I already thought about this, dude. Just bite my arm, take my arm. Gah, gah, gah.
Freddie stays wishing for pussy.
Dude, that's great.
Freddie's family immigrated to Hawaii from Tonga. Isn't that right?
I will not have this here. This is going to be on the internet. All right. I am not Tongan. I love Tonga.
Well, you're technically Hawaiian.
Okay.
What is
Your
Tonga?
family's Tongan.
What is
I might
Tongan?
stab you here.
Tonga.
What's the insult of Tongan? I don't get it.
So, I mean, there's just this. I love Tongans. Like, this racism is gone, but, like, Samoans and Tongans, like, there's, like, this thing that my dad always told me since I was a kid. He's like, it would take 3 spears to kill a Tongan, or to kill a Samoan, and 1 to kill a Tongan. And it's just, like, this thing that, like, his
Tongans are
grandparents
kinda
told
pussies.
him. I mean, we're very similar people. We come from, like, very similar types of cultures. And, yeah,
They're
we're just...
Polynesians.
We're
Yeah.
Polynesian. We're Pacific Islanders.
Okay,
and,
huh.
And we're very similar people, if you ask me.
Kind of like the Israelites and the Palestinians. Like they're very
Except
similar.
we
but-
won't bomb each other.
Mostly because they don't have bombs to use.
There you go. We have coconuts.
They will throw rocks at each other.
that we will share.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
Don't fucking call me Tongan.
I called you Hawaiian, dude. I said your family's
That's
from
just
Tonga.
as bad, dude.
What's your last name?
Whatever, dude.
What's your last name?
Anyways,
Tell me what your last name is, dude. Tell the people.
Father Nico.
Yeah, okay.
Do you?
Is that a better name than Kalolo?
It's-
His
I
last
like
name is
my family's-
Kalolo,
it's my
Yeah,
which
family's
is
name.
Hawaiian. That's a Hawaiian name.
It's a Hawaiian name, but it's my family's name. When like my dad was leaving Samoa and came to Hawaii, they changed their name from Father Nico to Kalolo. It's
Oh.
like something traditional, I guess. Like when you leave, you change your name, I guess.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Do you have any family you still talk to in Samoa that you know of, at least?
On Facebook, that's about it. I mean, usually if your kid is gonna have a good life, they send you to New Zealand or they send you to
Hawaii.
America or Hawaii, yeah. And so I have family all over the place. I have family in like Japan, New Zealand,
That's rad.
Australia, all over the place.
You see it a lot in like rugby. A lot of big nations will have like a lot of Samoan or Fijian, Tongan players on their team.
Because we're fucking ultra athletes, dude.
They're definitely very,
Super athletes.
very good at rugby. Just very disorganized in your own countries.
Rugby's fucking crazy.
It's
Can we
the
talk about that
best.
sport?
It's the
I know
best.
nothing about rugby.
Rugby
Yeah, I
is,
don't really get
is
it.
like
It's so great.
it's like soccer, except you guys are fucking running into each other.
What's so great is like it takes so many aspects of a lot of different sports, which makes it really hard to explain to anybody. I find it like
I know
a
it
lot
looks
of people explain like, oh, it's like football, but you don't wear pads, which isn't entirely true because like in football, obviously you've
There's,
got,
like,
you've got a
downs.
line of scrimmage. There's downs. You start a play from from center. You get a snap. And
Plays
you
have
get
time
yeah,
limits.
right. You get it. Well, and you get a time.
It breaks.
Yeah, you get breaks. Every play you can call a play. Your quarterback and your coach are talking to each other over a headset, and like you don't have that in rugby. The only times that we have set plays for sure, but we don't have the opportunity to speak to our coach in the middle of a game. We don't have helmets on, so we don't have headsets. There's no pads, nothing. Like we wear short shorts and basically like rash guards, essentially. Like we wear tight tops, and you don't call plays. You just have set plays that you've worked on. And you have two positions on the field, the scrum half and the fly half, that communicate throughout the game. Like, this is what we're seeing from the defense. This is what we're going to try to attack from our offensive, what we see from offense. And it's just like nonstop. There's no, when the tackle happens, it doesn't stop. It's not like football. You go down and the play ends and you call another play and you move on. You keep going. It's just constant fucking headbutting.
They say rugby has the best form of tackling because they throw their shoulder into tackles.
Yeah.
Whereas in like a lot of football players, they get destroyed because they go head first.
Yeah.
And in rugby, like you don't have a helmet or anything, so
Yeah.
you're not trying to go head first. You're going
Right.
shoulder
Well,
first.
and it's illegal. Like in rugby, you have to hit with your shoulder. You have to wrap, and you got to drive people down. If you don't wrap, even if I lead with my shoulder and I don't wrap, it would be an illegal tackle. You get penalized for it immediately. One, it's super unsafe. Like obviously, it's fucking dangerous to just shoulder check somebody that's running at you.
Who do you think gets
Especially-
hit harder, in football or rugby?
I think football players probably get hit harder for sure because you weaponize the pads.
Yeah.
You don't think about
You
it.
just can run full speed.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's a big thing nowadays that you don't see anybody wrapping up as well anymore. It's like, especially, I would say like, I feel like defensive linemen are still wrapping up very well, but like anybody, like corners and safeties, they're just like shouldering in and hoping you
absolutely.
fall over.
100%.
That's true.
100%.
Nobody wraps up anymore.
Which, by the way, can I say we got a face reveal from Moss? First time in that
Face
episode.
reveal.
I was getting,
Minus the drinks.
it
Minus
was
the
getting,
drinks.
it was getting steamy. over there.
I think, like, so I'm a big Seahawks fan, and I have been my whole life. And the Seahawks, like Pete Carroll, a few years ago, like back when like the Legion of Boom was still a thing, brought in All Blacks players to teach tackling.
He brought in all blacks.
Yeah. Well, we already had
when they took over.
everybody was already black. So for those that don't know rugby, the All Blacks is New Zealand's team, and they're historically probably the greatest team of all time
In rugby.
What,
absolutely.
what separates them? Like, why haven't other teams be able to
skin
come up
color.
on top?
I don't know.
Samoans on the
It's I think they have like the Islander athleticism and tenacity, but they have like the Western coaching. Western teams have better coaching, like in general, than most island teams do. They're also afforded better equipment, better training fields, and stuff like that. And you can see it like in so there's a smaller version of the game called Sevens, where it's just 7-on-7, which is rugby is typically played 15-on-15. There was Ben Ryan is I believe he's from Ireland. He came over to Fiji to teach their sevens team, and they became like the greatest fucking sevens team ever because Fijians are already freakishly
Fast.
athletic. Just like I mean, you get dudes that are like 6'5", 230 pounds and run like a fucking 4.4. Like just terrifying human beings, right? But they don't have the same like tactical minds that a lot of the
So
Western.
what you're trying to say is that they're Samoan and Tongan, they're Polynesians, and they have like their natural athletic ability, but they're coached by white people.
Yeah. Islanders are dumb. They're just athletic as fuck. Islanders are super athletic, and you see that all over the world. Like some of the best players on like Western teams are still Islanders. But I feel like they just get better understanding of the game, whether it be through I don't know if it's like this is something that happens in or at least Gordon Ryan thinks happens in jiu-jitsu as well, is like the
Gordon
advanced
Ryan follows us, by the way.
No way, does he? The rolls on rolls?
Gordon Ryan follows
Oh,
rolls on
fuck
rolls.
yeah, that's sick. Hell yeah.
Gordon Ryan says the same thing about Brazil when it comes to jiu-jitsu, is that they're falling behind because they have a lack of like technology. Like they don't have the same access to the internet that we do. And I think that the same thing might be true for like Western countries. Like,
You think he's just not trying to shout out to buy his instructionals? He's like, they don't have Wi-Fi to watch my instructionals
maybe
on.
who knows?
Well, to be honest, I mean that's a solid point. Like I think a lot of like the nuance in jiu-jitsu is like coming, straight down from Danaher and all the shit that he's teaching. And
Absolutely.
so the people who are adopting that and like understanding like the more philosophical points behind like the reasons why you're doing techniques, and those are the people that are having more success.
Yeah.
And so if it's only like train hard and show up to class, then those countries are probably falling behind a bit.
Everyone, like you see the athleticism like in jiu-jitsu as well with like Brazilians. Like Kainan Duarte is super athletic, and all the guys from Atos, all those Brazilians are super athletic.
Keep talking. I'm gonna pee real quick.
But
Nice.
maybe their tactics aren't just not quite there. They don't have the same understanding of like the concepts. And like I feel like the conceptual side of sports is so underlooked. And you see like Danaher is a master tactician. Like he understands the concepts of combat in general just so thoroughly.
Yeah.
That his guys do incredibly well. Like even outside of jiu-jitsu, like being in the corner of GSP, one of the greatest MMA fighters of all time.
Exactly.
Like that's big. Like for GSP to trust you to corner him when it comes to like grappling, clearly like Danaher is a fucking mastermind.
Yeah, that is massive.
You see it now with Greg Souders in I believe it's in Maryland, standard jiu-jitsu. He has what he calls like the ecological approach to jiu-jitsu, where he doesn't teach techniques in the traditional sense where like we go to jiu-jitsu and like maybe Issa or anybody else in the valley really, and anybody else in America, it seems like, shows you like a technique. They're like, oh, we're gonna show this arm bar from this position, right? And we just drill the same. He has like, he's broken it down into like games where he gives you this like this focused task. This is what you're trying to accomplish here.
Yeah.
Just kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do to like, okay, well, let's say we're starting from, a flat back half, and the top guy is just trying to get an underhook.
Yeah.
And to do whatever you can to get an underhook, because the underhook is pivotal right there, right? Whoever gets the underhook here is probably going to get an upper hand. The guy in bottom half guard is going to find a way to get back up, get to dogfight or get his guard back, and the guy on top is probably going to pass you. If you're flat back and the guy's on top of you with a half or with an underhook, you're probably fucked. Like your guard's probably getting passed.
100%. That's honestly a solid point. Like I learned that from the Less Impressed, More Involved guy on YouTube. And
I love that guy.
He does like sick breakdowns, but he took it from, Danaher and the B team is like what they do is like they do this game called Designated Winner, where the person who is implementing the technique, he's going to be the winner.
Right.
And you're going live, but at like not like, first you start at 30% and then 40% and then, 70%. And you do these like tempered live rounds. And so if the goal is, if the technique is guard passing, the goal will be get to J position, which is the J position, which is like, basically you're at the hip line, your opponent is in jeopardy of getting the guard passed. And so you do these live rolls, you'll go over a couple techniques of how to get to the J position. And then we do this game called Designated Winner, where the top person, their goal is to get to that side, that like J position. And then you keep doing that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how like Greg does it in standard jiu-jitsu. Just like a lot of like sometimes I can't remember the exact like terminology he uses, but he has multiple different types of games. One where like either person can win, or one where it's like one guy's pretty much like doomed, like you're not gonna win. There's no favorable outcome for you here. The other guy is supposed to win this. You're just doing the best you can to make it as hard as possible for him to win it.
Yeah.
Which I think it's probably a better way to teach jiu-jitsu. I just think a lot of guys fall into this like the traditional way of teaching, where it's
For
like,
sure. Or
this
you
is how
only
I
know-
was taught, and this is how my black belt was taught, and his black belt before him.
Yeah, exactly. Or you only know what you know, and so if you're not like constantly studying the game, that's like you're not gonna change in those ways.
Yeah, I do love that like Issa will force us into different positions. Like he does when we start like live rolling. It's not just a free for all. It's not just like start wherever the fuck you want. It's like one person's gonna start and mount. So at least we do get some of that like live resistance. Okay, I have to start in the shitty position, because most people, no matter how much you tell yourself, oh, I gotta get better at this, like you just like innately don't put yourself in a shitty position.
Yeah, exactly.
Most people don't go into a roll and like, oh, just take my back.
I'm not letting Moss get mount up.
Like,
yeah, exactly right.
How
No matter what.
much did Andre Galval train getting out of a body triangle with somebody on his back?
Not enough.
Yeah, not enough.
Crazy.
That was fucking fun.
Another thing to think about, like you're talking about, like you're talking about black belts and like training how they were trained. But what separates somebody like Joseph Chen, who's been training for like 4 years apart,
Makes
from
me
like
sad.
beating, and he like what separates him from other, like he's beating the highest of high levels, like just took gold at European trials, and now he's going to go to ADCC 4 years into jiu-jitsu.
I'm glad you didn't name specific names, but yeah, he's fucking insane.
Yeah,
He's
crazy.
insane.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know who it is.
You know who
I haven't
Joseph Chen
seen
is?
him.
Joseph
Oh my
Chen is
God.
fucking insane. Yeah, so he trains partially at B Team and partially at, I think it's called Alioni or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the gym.
He's only been training for 4 years. He just won European trials, so he's going to ADCC. Like, dude, this dude is, and he dominated everybody.
Went
And
through
he
the
had the,
ringer.
he had the hardest.
His hardest match was
Tommy Longlocker and
Hey, bring that
then
thing closer to your face.
Oliver Taza.
yeah, Oliver Taza.
Well, he also had to beat Mateusz Szczynski, who already broke his foot prior to this. Like,
Right.
I mean, he just went through like the most dangerous dudes possible in that.
It was
fucking
insane.
crazy.
Wow, I haven't seen it.
You should definitely watch ADC, the
he's-
European trials.
He's ridiculous because he went to like quintet too with B Team over in Japan, but he's like a true definition of a phenom.
Yeah,
Like to be 4 years into a sport and you're
Yeah,
already going to the
dominating.
highest level competition.
right.
That is
Was
crazy.
he a
Wait,
wrestler before?
I don't think so.
His wrestling was good too.
Well, even if he was a wrestler before, like he's not from like a wrestling dominant country.
Because what
So-
was the competition he did before quintet?
he's Chinese?
I was just trying to think about that. I don't know that he's necessarily Chinese, but he was in China because like he did the European trials. So obviously he can't be because it's not Europe and Asia. Is
I think
it?
you can do
yeah,
all
it
of
is.
them,
It is.
Oh,
Euro-
is it
though. Like,
Europe and
you can
Asia?
be an
Okay.
American and do European trials.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
but
can
South
do
No,
all
no,
of them.
you have to have a passport.
That's what it.
Well, you have to have a
or,
passport.
You know, I mean, citizenship.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh,
So
is,
I
that,
think-
is that true? Are you sure?
Yeah. So
I think so.
'Cause I was just talking to-
I didn't think it was until I was watching this last European trials. I was watching Mo Jason was live, and I was listening to it, and he was talking about like so and so has a dual citizenship, so he can do this one and go do West Coast and East
Oh,
Coast.
interesting.
Because he has American and European trials. That's why Big Dan is European because he has a Romanian citizenship and an American citizenship.
Interesting.
So yeah, you have to have a citizenship. That's why a lot of Brazilian guys only do Brazil. They don't do the American ones. Yeah, because I always thought that too. I thought you just hop around and do
Yeah.
trials, and then I found out this
Like
year
the
that
more chances you get, just
yeah,
do them all.
yeah. But then I was like, oh, that makes sense. Why you don't see like you never saw Craig Jones or Nicky Rod go over to Euro or even Gordon go over to Euro and stuff like that.
Yeah, interesting. Well, I gotta pee.
Yeah,
I'll
go
be
for
right
it.
back. All right.
Grab more soccer.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that as well.
We'll hold it down.
Hold it down.
All right, guys. Well, Joey's gone.
Follow us at
Yeah, shameless shout out. Follow Rolls on Rolls.
yeah.
follow Rolls on Rolls. We post a lot of jiu-jitsu content. Joey is like is one of the main people we post. Luke, Bastion. I mean, we post a lot of good
Luke's so
people.
good. Speaking of the Bastion family, dude, my chef was about to hang out with Lou this weekend on Monday.
Your
Oh,
show?
really?
Yeah, Mora is catering. Well, Scott Conan, or the celebrity chef of us, they're catering the suites to the Raiders game Monday.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like 1,000 people we're catering to. I did like 2 doubles this week just prepping for that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
That's
Speaking of
definitely a busy
football.
week for you.
It was so mentally exhausting because it was like food I don't usually cook all the time. Like I did
Glizzies.
90 racks of ribs, 726 like of these like tater tot sized like carbonara bites.
Carbonara. What's that?
Carbonara is like a pasta with like an egg yolk sauce and pancetta.
And it's a bite. Like it's like.
Yeah, so we made the pasta and we flattened it out on a sheet tray or a baking sheet.
Oh shit.
Joey almost died.
But yeah, we took the carbonara, made it, flattened it out on a baking sheet, and then we pressed it and stuck it in the fridge, let it sit overnight, and then I cut it into these squares,
You need another beer?
Yeah.
and then I rolled them into the shape of a tater tot, and then I breaded them all. 726 pieces.
Jesus Christ.
I did fucking.
this.
I did like.
How many were
30
you doing a day? Do you think?
Oh, it was a 3-day process.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then I did like 35 pounds of crab. I had to vacuum seal. Oh, those ribs was also a 3-day process because we had to get them seasoned, cook them, let them rest, and then I had to vacuum seal all of them. We did like
Where's this food going? Is this going to
the Raiders Stadium.
To the stadium?
Yeah, my chef and one of our girls who does media was driving there this morning. I had to get to work at 6 a.m. this morning to help pack the van we have.
Wow. Is that where you're able
Why are they
to
going
get
with
off a
you
little
guys?
early?
Yeah. What?
Why are they going with you guys? That's interesting.
So every week apparently, because I was asking Lou about it, and he was like, every home game they do like a celebrity chef caters to the suites, like the people who own the suites at the stadium. That like the prices on those suites is crazy.
I'm sure.
What stadium?
Raider Stadium. So
You know, suites aren't even like the best like view.
No,
I don't know if you've sat
not
in a
even.
suite. It's like
No.
you're kind of far away still.
But they're
You're,
about
like,
to get
watching
all
on the
this.
TV in
They're
there.
about to get all
Just
this
more
free
comfortable.
food from this freaking. But yeah, so every home game they do a celebrity chef, and so this home game it just happened to be my celebrity chef of my
Restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Scott Conan. So yeah, he's up there. They're up there right now. Yeah, and then tomorrow they're gonna serve all the food that I helped make.
Is that like
I didn't get to
Conan's
go.
brother?
Who?
Conan.
Is he redheaded?
He is redheaded.
Okay. Well, are you sure? Is
They
that-
might be
No.
brothers.
Okay.
Now that I
Maybe
think
like
about
maybe like the Bruffer brothers.
it. Dude. Yeah, they don't know.
Yeah. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Bruce Buffer and what's his brother's name? Alex Buffer?
Michael Buffer?
Michael Buffer.
Michael.
Yeah, Bruce and Michael Buffer like didn't know they were brothers until they were like in their 30s or 40s.
What?
Yeah.
How does that happen?
Yeah,
I
they
heard-
both
I heard
became
about this.
announcers. How does that
How
happen?
do you take the same career path? You have the same like.
I actually refuse to believe that's true.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I don't buy
Listen
it.
to Bruce talk about it. Apparently their dad was like,
Fuck
you know,
that guy.
I think he raised like Michael, who's the older child, and like Bruce was like some fucking side chick he was with and
Damn.
you know, knocked her up, and then you know, Bruce, you know, he didn't even meet his dad until he was like 30 or something.
Damn.
Dude,
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
yeah. And Bruce chose It's Time, and Michael chose Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
Let's get ready to rumble.
What's more iconic?
I think Rumble.
Probably Rumble.
I would say so.
right now? Although you know, I think
In
which
this
one's
very
gonna
moment,
stand the
UFC might be.
yeah in the moment. Yeah,
I think,
right now.
Modern, probably.
Yeah, because like when you hear fucking Michael, how sick is that,
Dude.
Imagine
The
hearing that
chills.
being in the dude.
I get chills watching it live sometimes. Like if it's a big fight, like the Sean O'Malley Aljo fight.
Dude.
Chills.
Chills, and also like I mean the song that he chose, like
Oh.
walking out. Oh my
perfect.
god, dude, how fucking perfect!
The
He's like,
most perfect
if
song.
you are who you say you are,
Couldn't fit any better.
superstar, and then he comes out and fucking gives that performance. What an absolute monster!
A super, and like he kept talking about it, and like he talked about it on JRE. If you listen to that with him and Tim,
I just started it.
he was like, I knew it was gonna be good. Like after the first round, he's like, the first round he didn't do what, like he didn't get a hold of me. He's like, I knew. He's like, if he would have got a hold, taken me down in the first round, he's like, I think I might have lost that fight. He's like, but the fact that I was able to keep him off the whole first round, he's like, I think that's when I had it in the bag.
I still think the best walkout song in the UFC is Stephen Thompson coming out to Wonderboy by Tenacious D.
It's so
That's
good.
pretty good. Yeah.
Fucking lit.
Stephen Wonderboy also is my favorite UFC fighter.
He's so good.
Hands down. Thank
Here
you.
you go, bud.
My
You
favorite-
gonna hand me those empties?
It's hard for me to pick a favorite. I feel like for a while it was probably Korean Zombie. R.I.P.
That makes sense.
That is a good one.
Not because he's dead, but
Zombie.
He's just dead to me.
Zombie didn't die.
Well, that's it. No, he retired.
Oh, yeah,
But that's another great walkout song. Korean Zombie coming out to Zombie by the Cranberries.
You know what I really liked, honestly, is fucking Connor's like Schneed, the Foggy Dew.
oh yeah,
That song. You ever heard that song?
Yeah.
Sinead
I can't
O'Connor
think of
one?
it.
Yeah, Sunito Connor.
Actual rest in peace.
Soggy Dew.
Yeah.
Or Foggy Dew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another great one when I went and saw. So the first time Dustin Poirier, have they? No,
that?
yeah. So the first time Dustin Poirier and Justin Gaethje fought, it was in Arizona, and I
Right.
went to that fight, and the Justin Gaethje walkout song was fucking super dope.
What was it?
It was I can't remember who it's by. It was like I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That was fucking super dope.
That's a good song.
It was really, really good.
I still love. I think we've talked about this, Freddie, and I know you don't like it, but I really love the John Jones "I'm Coming Home" walkout. I don't know why.
Was that against Gone?
I think that was no. This was before. I think it was after his like one of his like when he got suspended.
Oh, when he hit that.
He might have been Gustafsson too.
Mom.
Was it Gustafsson too? But I don't know. I just really loved that.
I think it was
walkout.
Reyes.
That fight fucking sucked.
Which one?
Wait, Don McNair.
When
Gustafsson
Jones
did
beat the
OSP?
fuck out of Gustafsson the second time. Because their first fight
Dude, I
was
like
so
that. It was
great.
so close. Would
It
you
was-
put some money on Gustafson?
Not necessarily. Like I was pretty positive. Like John Jones is the baddest motherfucker on the planet, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't
Right.
think there's a man alive that can like unless they get
I don't
lucky.
know. An NBA player might beat him.
Yeah,
Honestly, Reyes beat him.
Yeah.
Dominic Reyes.
that
beat
was
him.
a close
100%.
fight
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was,
he beat him. He whooped him the first 3 rounds, and then
Not
John,
the worst decision?
controlled the fourth and the fifth.
Not the worst decision, but a very bad
Not
decision.
pretty
the
bad.
worst, but like it
Pretty
was.
bad.
I thought it was pretty
What is
clear.
the worst
clear.
decision you've seen? You think?
Anderson Silva, Michael Bisping.
You think so? Well, yeah. I mean, he had him out. I mean, but he didn't call it though. The fight wasn't over.
the worst. One of the worst decisions. It might be actually like Johnny Hendrickson
Against
versus
GSP.
GSP.
Yeah.
Johnny
Oh, really?
Hendrickson beat the fuck
He
out of
beat
GSP.
the life out of
He
him. If you
absolutely
look at their
pummeled
faces after,
GSP.
yeah,
It was
that,
hard to
honestly,
watch.
That might be it. Yeah,
It was hard to watch.
There was actually a recent one. I think it was on a fight night. Me and Hakeem versus Cub Swanson. Even Cub
Oh,
Swanson,
that was
like,
pretty bad.
so they had Cub Swanson win, and then even him on the mic was like, "Yeah, I didn't win."
Peter Yan versus O'Malley.
Ooh,
Yeah, you know, that's
I don't think it's as bad as the other ones we said, but
that one,
Kind of bad.
it's bad.
it looked
I
like
feel
he lost
Yan-
the fight.
I feel like
yeah.
Yan won that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have been probably the happiest with the draw. Maybe. I don't know. I was
Yeah, I'm
very
not sure.
upset with
I'm happy with just how it turned out because I like Sean and like I'm excited for
I
his
like him
career.
too.
And he won that fight and then ended up fucking being the champion, like
Yeah.
distinctively.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I mean, on one hand, it's
That's the other thing. I like Alja too, so I feel bad for him that he got so much hate.
I don't know. After like the first Yan fight, I kind of don't really care for Aljamain anymore. Like I don't know. It sucks obviously to get hit with an illegal technique like that. Like I'm sure.
but to win the belt like that,
yeah.
like, what a
I mean, but yeah.
weak way to
he
win
still
the belt.
proved himself. Though.
He definitely
He
proved
came back
himself.
and won,
and
for sure.
and rebeat Pieter in a
Yeah.
very dominant
Exactly,
fashion.
yeah.
So
What he did to Sandhagen is fucking hardcore.
yeah.
Took him out in like
Took
a
down
minute.
a Olympic gold medalist twice,
There you go.
Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
A retired Olympic gold medalist, but yeah.
I mean,
still
Henry.
under his prime because 35 they say his prime. He's like 32, I think.
I haven't hit my prime yet.
You're not.
Still waiting to hit
That's
my
scary.
prime.
That's scary.
You haven't peaked yet, dude.
Not
Fuck,
yet.
Scary.
I'm gonna get on the juice here.
Just wait
pretty
till you're.
soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Here,
Just
cheers.
wait till you're freaking saucy like Andre Galvao.
One thing I probably would take is maybe like something that makes your cardio better. I don't think I would take anything that's like,
EPO?
yeah, maybe some EPO.
Have you seen that thing?
If I could be like assured that it's not gonna hurt my health like horribly like long term, like it's maybe like drinking alcohol or something. It probably doesn't have the best effect on you,
Right.
but if it was something like that, maybe I would do it. Other
I think
than
just like straight up test is like
some trend.
wow. That's a wild jump. But
SARMs,
I think
dude.
just doing like
SARMs.
SARMs.
I just think like doing like tescipionate is like ideal like starting point for an athlete. Like it's
I think maybe I'll do that like once I'm maybe in my mid 40s or something. The only thing about doing testosterone is like once you do it, you're on it for life.
Yeah.
Or you get off and you like turn into a bitch and like get like fucking titties and like your
Like
your
Freddy.
nuts are gone.
So you rolled against some like pretty high level guys. Like you rolled against that guy from B Team, Pedigo, the Murdoch twin or whatever his name is. You rolled against that dude from Ted Planet that invented the buggy choke. Like how do you feel like you do against people like that? Like how do you feel like you were in those matches?
To be honest, it's a good question. Like like part of my strategy, if you want to call it that, like leading up to competition, is I don't look at a single person in my bracket. I show up with the mentality of like put anyone in front of me and I'm gonna fucking put out my best jiu-jitsu. So like every single person you mentioned there, like I couldn't like tell you who's who. Like I don't know. I just don't know.
It's
I,
like
I just don't
ADCC.
most of the people.
The ADCC Open that you did, like you went against like a bunch of savages. Like how do you feel like you did against
Ben
all those
Henderson.
guys at ADCC?
I didn't go against Ben. We were supposed to go first match of the Open, and then Ben just called it a day
Really?
after the regulation. Yeah.
That would have been.
I'm just kidding. I fucking love you, man.
dude, Butter Smooth moves.
Benson, yeah.
3 or Butter Smooth Fight Club 3. Let's get you versus
All ref.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't compete on my own thing just because of that.
I
Yeah.
think I've asked you a couple times, and yeah, you say that.
It has to be sub only.
It makes
No
sense,
refs, no judge's decision.
Yeah, or no time
No
limit.
time limit,
yeah.
That would be the only way
Main
to do
event.
it. Yeah,
That'd
that'd
be
be the only
sick.
way to do it.
That'd be sick.
In that situation, maybe I would. But like honestly, a no time limit match is not fun for anyone.
No, I actually think it's horrible for the sport as far as like trying to get more people involved, like spectators.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. All the best sports as far as like spectator viewership goes, they have like a specific win. Like there's a win condition,
Yeah.
and it's
Right.
obvious for everybody what the win condition is. Have the most amount of points by the end of the regulation. Then it should be the same thing for jiu-jitsu. Whether you actually score points or it goes to like a ref's decision, because it's like in the UFC, there's not an obvious amount of points
Right.
that were scored.
Yeah.
Like you don't
You
know.
you don't score points.
Right. But you know at the end of the fight, if somebody wasn't finished, it's going to go to a ref's decision, and the refs are going to
Yeah.
right.
Someone beat his ass. He didn't maybe like knock him out unconscious, but
Right.
like he whooped him the most of the fight.
That's
I
why.
think that. Oh, go ahead.
That's why I think like the sub only in butter smooth with the time limit is so good. But like if you really want it to go longer, like the EBI overtime is a great thing to like draw it out for longer, but like also kind of get a definitive thing. Again, it sucks because some people might game plan to have like
Right.
only an overtime plan.
Yeah.
I actually don't like the EBI overtime.
Really?
And it's like if you think of it from a different like other sports, like imagine you're watching a football game, right? And
You start
like-
out like the red zone. Would
right.
that be
Well,
equivalent?
yeah. You look at
what
like
it is like college football overtime.
Right.
If
Kind
in
of.
college football overtime, you start on the 20-yard line, you've got 4 chances to get it done, and then the other team
Right.
has the same.
But I also don't agree with that because like that assumes that both sides put in the same amount of dominance.
Yeah.
If you watch a match and like one guy is getting absolutely fucked the whole match, like let's imagine like
Like
if,
freaking,
like one football
like
team.
Austin Baker and what's his face from 10th Planet?
Yeah,
Will.
sure,
Will.
Will Frayne. Like if you look at like a match like that, and you look at like if you compare that to like a football game, like imagine like I don't know, like the Patriots versus like any other team, whatever, it doesn't matter. 2 teams, one team puts up like 30 points, and the other team only put up 10, and it goes to overtime because there wasn't a finish or whatever. Like,
Right.
why should they start in the same dominant position? It doesn't make sense.
Well, that's my exact critique with it too. Is that like if someone absolutely works the other person for the entire regulation,
Right.
and then they're given a position that they could not have ever earned,
Right.
and end up finishing it from that position,
Exactly.
they're not necessarily the better jiu-jitsu athlete. I think all competition should facilitate who's better at jiu-jitsu.
I agree.
And EBI overtime doesn't necessarily facilitate that.
I agree. I think like if both athletes agree to that rule set,
You-
then whoever wins fucking wins.
Exactly,
Right? You were better in that rule set. Good for you. That's fucking awesome.
I mean, that's
But-
an important point too. If you agree to a rule set, you should fucking perform under that rule set.
Right.
Like it's
You should have trained for that.
Yeah, you should be ready for whatever rule set you agree to.
Exactly,
But I just
yeah.
don't think it's the necessary like best expression of who has better jiu-jitsu. Just like I don't think IBJJF is.
No.
If you
Right.
can score 2 points and then fucking
Rip
disengage.
your fucking gi off and you're all fucking
like Craig Jones. I think it was it you that shared that?
Yeah,
Yes,
just shared it
I
today,
watched
yeah.
that video
100%
twice on the
I
way
agree with
here.
that. I think like I like the way that Polaris does it, where they have like a 15-minute match,
Polaris
and
does it good.
it's judged in 5-minute increments. So it's judged as if there's rounds like the UFC,
Yeah.
but you never cut the momentum. You never stop around
Yeah.
and give a chance. Like
That's
if
the
somebody
interesting part. Yeah, that's an interesting
like
way to do
you
that.
see it all the time in the UFC where somebody's on somebody like in like the
On somebody's back and then you have to
right.
restart standing.
like
yeah.
what's it called fucking Makachev versus Volkanovski. He had Volkanovski's back, and then
Right,
the round ends. Okay,
you start standing.
your momentum is cut now.
Yeah.
And you get a chance to reset. You get a chance to gain like, and that doesn't happen in Polaris.
Joe Rogan brought that up on Jerry, like a good point, like restarting them from the same position.
Yeah.
Or just not having
Or
a
just
round.
not having
Yeah.
stops.
That's what's
Yeah.
so great about Polaris is like that first. Okay, so let's say in the first 5 minutes you're getting dominated. Somebody has your back that whole time. The second 5 minutes you happen to get out. Now you're on top. You pass the guard and you're in side control. There was never a shift in momentum per se because it didn't stop. You just got out. Like
Yeah.
you just happened to like okay,
Yeah.
I found the way to get out, and now momentum is just naturally shifting in my direction.
Yeah.
There's no like artificial stop.
Yeah,
Like,
stop
there's
and
no
then restart.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, that's a good. It brings up a good point though. Like one of my questions in my own head is like, what is a better expression of like jiu-jitsu competition? Is it a single match where like it's just 2 guys going against each other, or should you like have to win a bracket to like, you know, really show like, you know, you're the best at what you do.
Yeah, it's tough.
Because like I think like probably the best test between two people at least is like, you know, just
Right.
test, you know, just a single match.
Right.
That's what it is.
Well,
But
and you see it in like in the we were talking earlier about Joseph Chen. You look at those that trials. Oliver Taza had a fucking like it was match made
He had
in
a
heaven, like
cakewalk
easy, like
to
a
the
bunch
finals.
of like you know. Obviously, any of the guys on that side of the bracket probably would beat me, but like a bunch of nobodies, honestly.
Hey,
like
dude,
compared to
that
Oliver
Schweiber,
Taza,
dude. I don't know, dude.
world class. John himself,
Yeah.
dude. John himself said
We
it's
don't
world
really
class,
know
dude.
where you're at right now, dude. We're gonna have to have
But
you at a trials
listen,
and
I'm
see
just
what's
saying,
going on.
like that side of the bracket, like Oliver Taza didn't have to go up against Tommy Longacher. He didn't have to go up against fucking Mateusz Szczynski. Like Joseph Chen had to go through the tough guy, like
Like
all
ADCC
the
guys.
all the guys that were expected outside of Taza. Well, I mean, but he had to face him in the finals, obviously. But on his side of the bracket to get to the finals, he had to go against all of the favorites to make it to the finals.
Yeah,
So that's like
it's hard.
it's not an
a harder
accurate
bracket.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's not an accurate because
once
like
you get to that last step, you've been through more.
exactly
Yeah,
like
at least
Oliver
on paper,
Taza
you
had
should have been through more.
on paper Oliver Taza had the easy matches. It was match made in heaven. Like he should have fucking won.
It's also not up to him, you know. Well, actually, I mean,
As far
Who
as the
knows?
bracket,
who knows?
Who knows?
Oh, if he knows like Mo,
Mo.
or
Go-
something.
I'm
the fuck,
sure
man?
Gordon Ryan has a lot of pull, but I don't know.
Thank you, sir.
There's a lot of people talking,
We'll see.
but so if you have something like that, like if you have like one side of the bracket that's just a bunch of like big name guys, like let's say one side is like Andre Galvao, Gordon Ryan, fucking Victor Hugo, and the other side is a bunch of guys you've never heard of, like the guy on the other side is going to have a much easier finals match because he's not tired. Like he finished all of his matches in no time.
True.
Joseph Chen went through fucking wars.
Yeah.
War.
Even the matches that he dominated, like yeah, he fucking dominated Tommy Longacher. Rip, that fucking makes me super sad because that's my homie. But
Shout out
like,
to Norz.
shout out to
Shout out
Norz
to
Apparel.
Norris, shout out to Tommy.
Shout out
dude,
to
we
Norz
love
Apparel.
you, man.
Norz Apparel.
Hook
Please.
us
Sponsor
up.
of the pod.
Hook us up.
Official sponsor of the pod.
sponsor
North
me.
Apparel.
They really
This
like,
is the next Tommy Longacher, dude.
they really liked
hope so, dude.
Coulter's highlight as
They did.
we all did.
They
Oh,
shared
nice.
it. They shared it.
And
Oh, very cool.
So
They gave me a personalized discount code.
How many
Oh, there you
followers
go.
did
Some
you get
real
from that?
motherfucker. I don't know, dude. Probably
We
like
got a shit ton of
somewhere-
followers from that.
Something like 50. I got like 50 personal followers just
Oh,
from
wow.
that reel,
Huh,
and it's still
very
coming.
cool.
Like
Yeah.
even today, I'm like scrolling through and I see like new likes on that. We have like multiple. We have multiple bookmarks, dude.
Yeah.
People bookmark that highlight reel.
How many
That's
times have
good.
you watched it?
it has
lit.
it has a stupid amount of engagement.
I actually watch it like 50%.
50% of the views are all
Luckily,
Colter.
I watched it a lot too.
On repeat, dude.
I
on
watched
repeat.
it at least 100
Dude, that shit goes
times.
hard.
That's him.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Hey, as people are saying
shit
that I
went
was
hard, dude.
absolutely
That shit went
like
hard.
obnoxious.
Speaking of highlights,
Hell yeah.
one of my favorite highlights is Joey, like single leg Xing to saddle on everybody in one of the Naga competitions.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah,
So-
I've hit that
You
a lot.
hit that
yeah.
a lot though. You hit that.
That's what-
grappling arts too, or grappling industries.
I don't have beer.
Maybe like 5 or 6
I watched that.
competitions
I
I've
think
hit
that reel you posted were the very
Bro,
first.
you are cruising through those beers. I think you're like maybe 2 ahead of
Dude, you
everyone.
know what? I don't fucking babysit my shit, dude. Listen, I get it from rugby, dude. Hold on. I get it from rugby. And rugby, dude, we fucking drink.
All I know is
You just
I
did
broke
that.
the
We drink
seal.
There you go, man.
I'm like, I'm winning.
Wait, sorry. Colter, continue what we were saying.
I don't remember what I was saying.
Hey, fuck you, Colter.
I was talking. So originally, we were talking about. Fuck me.
You don't know what he said. He said something crazy.
So, we're talking about like the difference between. Never mind.
Is there water somewhere?
Cheers, boys. I think actually right to your left, there's some water.
Too long didn't read. 1v1 is better than brackets because you never know. One side of the bracket could be way harder than the other side.
Wait, so
That's basically what
I'm
I'm
sorry,
saying,
say
too.
that again? So
I think
1v1 is
1v1 is better. Like a they call it super fights in jiu-jitsu for some reason, even though I don't think all just like single matches are super fights. Obviously, I think it's a fucking stupid term,
Yeah.
but that happens to be the term in jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
Super fights are a better determination of who is better than brackets because
yeah.
one side of the bracket could be way harder than the other.
it's a
So
good
if you just
point.
get one
Yeah.
guy at his fucking like, he's not tired. He's game planned just for this guy, and the other
Yeah.
guy has game plan just for him.
Yeah.
Whoever wins that is obviously just
the better at jiu-jitsu.
it, like,
yeah, at least
it's
on
hard
that
to,
night.
you can't like there's
Yeah.
no argument you can make. Like
Yeah.
he's just fucking better.
Yeah.
And I think like no time limit probably proves that a little bit more, but I don't think that's good. I
Dude,
don't think
no
that's
ti-
good for.
I feel like part of like what makes a match good is the necessity to finish in a certain period
agree.
of time. The
Right.
necessity to make something
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
If you the first 10 minutes you can just kind of warm up and
Yeah.
feel each other out. Like it, I don't know. For
Yeah.
one, it makes such a boring
I
like
agree.
thing from the spectator,
Yeah.
and two, it's like I don't know. It just doesn't.
I think
it's
for
not
like
great.
hardcore jiu-jitsu guys, like watching Gordon Ryan versus Philippe Pena in Who's Number One, that no time limit match.
Yeah.
It's exciting for us, like because we understand the intricacies of the match and like
Yeah.
like the little shit, like the invisible jiu-jitsu, if you will, that's going on. Like we see that and we're kind of like, oh, that intrigues us.
into it.
But like if you're trying to grow it to like an
the
UFC
sport.
or just like MMA in general level of
The
jiu-jitsu,
normies.
nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to
time
watch a
limit is
time
not
limit
in it.
fucking.
As much
Yeah.
as I wouldn't want it to like for me in a competition, the idea of like how college wrestling has like if you take a step back, that's a point deduction. Like it's kind of a cool thing. Like
Yeah.
as much as it would suck to compete in that, like
Yeah.
as a viewer, it would be so good because it
Where the guys
constantly
have to
calls for
move forward.
engagement. Yeah.
The only thing is, anytime you introduce points, like it muddles the sport
100%.
because
Yeah.
guys start to gain the
Like,
points.
oh, you took a step
I
back, you're
agree.
down
I
a
agree.
point. Now I just have to like just hand fight and we'll make it.
It's definitely a sport that's hard to like make the perfect rule set for because
Yeah.
there's so many different. And I think probably ADCC gets the closest to being the perfect, honestly, because
Right. I agree.
It like the first half of the match can cater to people who are guard pullers, right? You want to pull guard, you want to do your thing, you want to just get straight to the jiu-jitsu. You're not a wrestler, right? A lot of guys that get into jiu-jitsu aren't wrestlers. A lot of wrestlers get into jiu-jitsu and they do fucking great because it's the most dominant sport in the world, in my opinion. Like if you're a wrestler, you're probably the hardest motherfucker around. Like that's a
A
hard
wrestler
fucking
with
sport.
a year of jiu-jitsu is going to be fucking a terror.
Absolutely. But like it's hard to pick a perfect rule set. And
Yeah.
I will say I do love your rule set. I've trained in or I've competed in a bunch of rule sets. I would say yours is towards the top. ADCC was so much fun. Yours, I feel like, especially if you look at your last competition, there were so many finishes in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you were talking to people like in the back.
That's
like,
true.
Hey,
There was a lot of finishes.
hey, you better
tell-
fucking finish this, all right? If you want a fucking bonus, you
I
better
think
finish this.
because it's like
I think Freddy's
my
the
head-
only match that didn't finish.
I know. I'm a loser. I get it. I hope you guys know this. I hope you know this. I really wanted to get a finish because I want a steak dinner.
Dude,
Well, it didn't look like it. It didn't look like it.
Listen, dude.
Dude,
All I'll
out
say,
there
I'll
This
say-
sitting
motherfucker right here is the hardest person to corner because he doesn't hear shit.
I can't hear
He
anything.
literally doesn't hear anything.
I was listening. So I had I wasn't able to make it, so I gave Austin my camera to record, and I was watching the recording
Oh my
on it
God,
on my
dude.
computer, and I hear Colter yelling everything, like exactly what to do, and Freddie just like every
So
once in a while he'd
frustrating.
look over and like squint.
I'm
and just
over
go
there.
back
I'm
to
over
just
there.
doing whatever he's doing.
I'm over there.
Well,
I'm over
like-
there in fucking Donner mode. I'm like Freddy Cololo.
I will say, I will
Freddie
say,
Kalolo,
like,
we're looking
whenever
for
you and I
this.
train and you show me shit, I'm eating all of it up, and I'm like, this is awesome. This is shit that I will definitely use.
Yeah.
Like power half or
Yeah.
power bottom.
Well, and I've tried to help a lot with your like turtle game too, because you like to go to turtle, which I think
I
is
love
fucking
turtle.
great for you.
Yeah.
So I've tried really hard to help you with your turtle game too.
And like looking back at the footage, like you yelling wedge when that kid has me, and
dude, I
when
was
the kid's
so
reaping,
fucking mad.
I would have hit it
I was
immediately.
so
I don't know
mad.
why I'm an idiot.
hear
I'm
it.
still a blue belt.
Dude,
Well, so I mean,
was
maybe
so
part of it too.
mad,
Like, if you
dude.
legit don't hear, like, I take the opposite approach. When I go, like, I lose my voice. I fucking scream at you. You know,
Yeah.
like when you did high rollers, I just went to the opposite side, like wherever you were, and I was like, pressure.
Let me just say,
pressure.
let me say one
Yeah.
thing.
It's like
Just-
4 minutes of hell.
I remember off the top of my head, the hardest match I had at high rollers was this kid from Oklahoma. He had like 100 like wins on smooth comp, and I somehow got to like flat half. And you said something. You said like push or stuff his leg and gets him out. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, duh. And I got to it, and I got to mount, and it's part of the reason why I won it by decision. So
Let's
You know what?
fucking go.
I actually felt
Dude,
really
I was
bad
like
because
absolutely screaming. I literally lost my voice that night.
I could tell because in the
I was screing.
In the footage, I could hear
as
you
soon as-
screaming.
And as soon as you get onto the mount, I'm like, 4 minutes of hell.
I was mounted on this guy trying to do the smothers milk because that's what I do, baby.
Mother's
Let's
milk,
go.
baby. Hey, whoa, real quick. a collaboration between Rolls on Rolls and Buttersmooth.
Hey,
Smooth.
Smother Smooth,
dude.
baby.
Smother Smooth.
Hey, by the way,
Smother
hey,
Smooth, I'm down for
Panda, shout out to Daniel. He
Daniel
showed
Bowie,
me.
dude.
He showed me your next set. I'm definitely buying your next.
Oh, you
set.
like that? Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I haven't
Thank
seen
you.
it.
I don't
Yeah.
like
What
it. I
is it?
love it.
Oh, it's sick. The
have to
secret.
show me. You have to
It's
show me.
hard as fuck.
Right
It has a
now.
lightning bolt coming down the side of it.
Hey, you can't talk.
Unreleased.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
It's a secret.
What kind of a lightning bolt, dude?
Just kidding. I am just kidding. It was a rainbow coming down. Actually, that's fun. I'm sorry. No, let me just say.
Butter Smooth fight.
You're really Saki bombing this fucking.
I'm bombing right now.
Butter Smooth
by the way,
Fight Club 3.
Hey,
is,
yeah, by the way.
Yeah.
I already have Saki in
Cheers,
this.
boys.
Butter Smooth Fight Club 3, LGBT.
What's happening?
I would also like to, on that note of Freddy being impossible to coach, I'd like to shout out to Alex for being super easy to coach.
Right, huh?
Bro,
That's something I want to work on.
Alex is a fucking murderer. I don't know what happened with his. I don't know what happened with his cardio.
Dude, if his cardio was better, he'd be fucking crazy.
That's
He is
honestly
so
what me
good.
and Issa both said. Like during the training camp, like let's focus on just eating healthy and getting hard rounds.
Him and Freddy both. Like if both of you lost some weight, it'd be fucking scary.
Yeah, because you'd still be heavy. Like obviously, even if you lost a
if
significant
you
amount of weight.
90-pound Freddy wins
Dude.
West Coast trials.
Well, even like if you got down to Alex's size, what is he? He's like 250, 260 or whatever.
No,
it is,
he's
or-
close to
I'd have
3.
a 6-pack at
Is he?
250.
I think he's like 280
Is
or
he?
270,
Whatever it
280.
is.
This is actually something
Freddy's
I wanted to bring
Freddy's
up.
like 800 pounds. So if he just got down to Alex's size, dude.
Dude, it's like
This
that.
is
And
something-
if Alex cut like
fucked
20 or
up.
30 pounds,
Hey,
it'd be
hey,
terrifying.
This is something I wanted to bring up because Rolls on Rolls, like we're obviously trying to post a lot of content.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I think could blow us up, which is something we are working on, is a weight loss documentary.
Oh, okay.
And
Huh.
It's something we've actually
Are
started.
we working on it?
It's actually,
Freddie? What are you doing to work on it?
Are you not part of this?
What are you doing to work? Are you a part of it?
Hold on.
I think you're the only person
Let me
that's not a
talk.
part of your
Hey.
weight loss journey.
We have started something where we filmed some
You're
stuff
taking
already.
some before pictures?
Some before pictures. but
Freddie's
even
like,
deeper
if
than
I
that.
get from 800 to 900 pounds, it'll make it more exciting.
That's the other
I'm
way.
not 800 pounds. All right,
That's
but
the wrong way.
I went to not one level. I went to ADCC Open, and they told me how much I weighed.
How much?
I'm
4
400
bills.
pounds.
Yeah.
We saw that at
see that.
Buttersmooth.
when was that? No. Before was it before
At One
Buttersmooth?
Love.
At One Love. We
So
waited.
I'm like
we both
390.
weighed ourselves.
I'm 390. There's a
lot
lot
of
of weight
weight.
to lose. I
like-
know I'm.
He's
I'm
like 790.
Fred, what are you eating today? You got to be putting down 10,000 calories.
Freddie, what are you
Listen,
eating
Here's the
today?
thing. Here's
Be
the
honest.
thing.
You
Be
got to be putting
honest.
10,000 calories.
For like 12 hours a day.
You have to say what you're eating in the monster voice.
Be honest.
Let it go. No, you're at it.
Listen. No.
There you go.
Does it work? Listen. Sometimes I go to In-N-Out. I have 2 cheeseburgers with an animal fry and a large Coke. And I stuff it down. Maybe I go twice a day.
You say sometimes.
Sometimes every day. I go twice a day.
Wow. Is that really the routine though? Like twice a day?
It's not a
Spectacular.
routine, but like, hey, listen,
bullshit. It is a
maybe,
routine.
Maybe once a day I'll go to like some
He's like, listen,
Fast food.
I go to
Hey, let me
In-N-Out
talk, let me
once,
talk.
and then I go to Cane's.
fast. Hey, Cane's is fucking. It's a good
I
spot.
love a good Canes.
But I'll go out and I'll go through a drive-through. I mean, I work at least 8 hours a day where I'm outside, driving around, teaching people how to drive. And I run through a drive-through. And after drive-throughs, I'll go to Maz's house and he cooks me some dank ass shit.
You could be hitting salad and go though.
You could
Salad
be.
Go fucking sucks.
No,
We
no, no.
fucked
Salad
those
Go-
guys.
Hold on.
Salad and Go's
Salad and
lit,
Go
dude.
Dude, salad goes
so
not
good.
bad.
Salad
Fuck
goes
that
pretty
place.
lit, dude.
They brought back steak too.
Dude, I eat
Like,
salad and go pretty regularly.
Salad and goes not
Fuck
bad.
Salad
if
Go.
I don't-
That is not a sponsor of this podcast.
Listen, hey, listen. Outside of salad and go, you could just fucking prep your own
Iron
meals.
Chef
you fat
for
bitch.
nothing.
So I actually hooked up Freddy with a meal prep service one time, and then
Oh, okay. He
said,
just doesn't use it. 'cause
no.
he's a
He said
fucking
the problem was
fat
I think
bitch.
he ordered one week. He said the problem was like actually eating it. Right?
Listen, guys.
What's the
I
problem
used
with
Factor,
actually eating it?
I used those guys, and
The
I
biggest
still do the other things that I do.
You know, it's a
The
habit.
biggest-
Yeah, the thing is,
It's
you
a
have to
habit.
you have
It's a
to
drug.
exit your
Don't
habit.
do that.
the
You've got
biggest
an
issue
addiction.
Exactly.
is it's the only addiction you can't just not do.
You've got to eat.
Yeah.
I just don't do it.
Oh, duh.
Here's
Look
the
at
thing,
me,
though.
dude.
Here's the thing, though. The initial thing that we were getting onto is I am going to eventually do this, and it's going to be soon,
I hope
sooner
so.
rather than later, because
so.
Rolls on Rolls, which is something I would die for right now.
I hope so.
I think it could blow us the fuck up, and
Don't do it for that reason, though.
not for that reason. There's other things like personally. There's things like this thing I keep thinking about, my full potential. It's
Yeah.
something I keep thinking about. My full potential. I'm
Not at it.
I'm not at it for
No.
sure. I'm this half white, half Polynesian kid who has all the athletic ability that could. I mean, at 400 pounds, I'm doing shit that like I don't think a lot of people can do. And imagine me at 200 pounds. At
Yeah.
200 pounds, I think I could do some crazy ass shit.
Dude,
shit that
I-
would be worth a steak dinner.
I
Let's go. You know what I mean? Take you to a
100%.
steak dinner.
100%. I think you could be like a world champion. Like if you go like IBJJF, whatever it is, if you cut some weight, 100%, I think you'd be a world champion.
I
Like, you're too fucking good.
I think at first, at least, maybe, long term you can change this, but I think at first, at least, you got to take it like an alcoholic takes it, like complete abstinence from fast food. It can't be like an occasional or take it back a little bit. It's got to be a complete abstinence from it. And the first probably 2 months are going to be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
To be honest, it's probably the first 30 days is going to be crazy difficult. And then once you get into that momentum, it'll be much easier. And like any sort of like, oh, well, it's been 2 weeks and I've been good and I'll just, do it tonight because it's Saturday and I don't have anything tomorrow. Like that is not the right attitude for this time. I think it's got to be a complete abstinence for probably like a year plus until you can, truly develop habits and then move forward from there.
That's exactly my mindset. Like the first 2 weeks, like there'll be 2 weeks where I'm like perfect and I lost like 20 pounds and I'm like, I'm on the right path. And then eventually I'll be like, Sonic sound pretty good though.
Yeah.
Cherry limeade sounding pretty good right now.
Hey, I'm not doing bad right now.
And I did really good in this last 2 weeks.
It's just like an alcoholic, like literally you can take months off in a row and then like, I've been good for literally months. I'm going to drink tonight and then like you drink tonight and then
You
it's
just total
like
relapse.
And
Yep.
then tomorrow it's like, well, dude, I drank yesterday. Might as
Right.
well, drink this morning and then keep it going. It's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
like you've
I'll restart tomorrow.
Well,
That
it's
mindset
it's
is
easy
boring.
for anybody with any sort of addiction or whatever you want to call it to get into that mindset where it's like, I did it this one time, I could do it another time.
Yeah.
And you do it another time, and then you do it another time.
I'm getting to that age where like I'm at 30 right now. And
He's like,
Are you 30?
He's like 36.
why do you say that? Listen, I'm 30.
How old are
I'm
you?
31. I'm 30.
around.
I'm 31, and so I'm coming up to my prime. I'm in my prime right now.
You should
I
be.
think
You should be. It's not going to be easy when you're 41.
I know exactly.
That's easy.
I have to figure it out right now.
I agree.
This is like the do or die moment for me. And
Freddie,
I
you don't
think-
see many like 60, 70-year-old 400 pounders.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean,
they're
Literally
all
just for your
fucking
own
dead.
health. That's why.
They're all dead.
and that's another thing. It's my health. It's like the thing that keeps on fucking with me in my head is like do it now, reach your full potential. Like
Yeah.
I have so
Honestly,
many
that's a
people,
good-
friends and family who are like, you could be special if you wanted to.
Right.
Like, and in my head, I'm like,
I'm already special needs.
in
They've
my
called
head.
me special my whole life.
I agree. I think with my life, I could do something special. I just need to take this serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly love that.
I agree.
Like you're not reaching your full potential. That's a fantastic way to look at it. It's like that.
It fucks with me.
Yeah.
It fucks with me big time. I mean,
Yeah.
like right now, I do think for who I am right now at my weight, at blue belt, I think I'm doing some cool shit.
Yeah.
But I'm not anywhere near where I could be. I literally lost to a fucking
You know what?
16-year-old.
Dude,
And in
dude,
my
let's
head
be
at
fair.
night,
Listen.
it fucks with me.
Let's be
If
fair.
I look at
That
the
dude's
match
good as
over and over
fuck.
again, he's good as fuck. But let's be honest, I should have fucked him up.
Right, and like-
in my head, I think I could have fucked him up.
You should have, definitely.
Exactly.
Well,
Should
and
have and
Gordon
did.
Ryan says it too. Like, there shouldn't, like, if you outweigh somebody, if you're good at jiu-jitsu, you should beat them. And he said he had said that after the last ADCC. Like, jiu-jitsu is a joke because, like, if you outweigh somebody by that much and you're good at jiu-jitsu, like, you should fucking beat them. Like, it shouldn't matter. You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get to that point. I mean, I
And you
really
could
do
be.
feel
You
like at
absolutely
one
could
love,
be.
I do feel like at one level I'm getting the right training to where I'm figuring out little, like, day by day I'm figuring out little things that, like, oh wow, that's sick. I can beat anybody doing this.
Right.
And shit that culture teaches me, shit that I train every day. Like, I think I could, like, power half. Like, I really haven't figured out power half yet. Power bottom. I think once I do figure stuff like that out, I'll be good. But
I'm a
over,
power
like,
bottom,
just
dude.
That's not a
past
move.
jujitsu. Past
It's like
jujitsu,
a
just-
gay term. But
Whoa, whoa,
like-
whoa.
This is not gay, I swear.
there's no power
Freddy's
bottom
kind of
move.
gay. He likes trannies.
Past jiu-jitsu. Past jiu-jitsu, I mean, just living a good life. I know, like, at the top of my head, I know there's no 400-pounders living a good life at 60.
Right.
That's true.
I do want to be at that point where I'm living a healthy life at, 40.
You know
I'll be
how you
40
do
in a
it.
decade.
You know how you do it, Big Fred. Is
You're 40 in
you
like
set
5 years, dude.
You set a date that you have a specific requirement by. You know, like we're on the pod right now, fucking making it happen on October 8th. You know, at what point are you have lost at X weight? You know,
Yeah.
that's a true test, and that's why a lot of people get scared about making goals, because a goal is a clear defined success point. It's also a clear defined failure point. If I haven't hit this, it's a clearly defined failure, and that's why most people won't write goals or won't do anything, is because I'll get to that point and I've clearly defined failure, and it's a tough thing to get through if I haven't hit my goal yet. So
True.
at you got to put a fucking date on it and put a number on it and make it happen.
And make sure your goal post, like, say, like, I want to lose X amount of weight, or I want to do this by this time, or I want to, like, if you're someone that's small trying to gain weight, like, by this time, like, you got to make sure you have to make a post goal past that to just keep doing that. Because some people will get like, oh, I hit my goal, now I can just go back to my old ways.
Right.
So they'll go back to those bad tendencies and bad habits that they
Yeah.
had. So you got to make sure you set another goal to, like, either like, oh, I'm just going to stay like this until I die, or I'm just going to do this until then. Or, like, some people will set like we have a friend Dillard who runs marathons. His goals are always like train up until he can run 100 miles, whatever,
Dillard.
in sandals.
Oh,
Shout out
fuck,
Dillard.
it's hard as fuck.
Hard
so
as
hard.
fuck.
100 miles
Come
is
back
hard
home,
as
love.
you
He does.
Fuck,
He
dude.
does. He does.
Quit
he's
start
doing a
training, you fucking pussy.
He's doing a race. He's doing a race from Flagstaff to the South Rim Grand Canyon in like sandals.
Wow.
And then he'll be back with us.
He's
In
so
sandals?
badass.
No way.
Yeah,
He's so
and dude,
badass.
he's the hard. I told him the
gonna
first
pee
thing I
real
told
quick.
him. God, there's 3 in a fucking episode.
You got a bitch bladder, I gotta say.
yeah, bitch ass bladder, dude.
It's a baby bladder.
Baby bladder.
I also have a baby bladder.
I'm telling you, once Dillard figures this
another
out,
one or what?
Dillard could be fucking.
I don't
up
think we
there.
have any more sake, so we can just keep drinking beer.
Oh, yeah. But it is.
Take a break.
This is
Do you
honestly
need another beer?
like just thinking about content. I think something that we planned,
This is yours or
Colter,
mine?
Massimo, and I think
maybe it's
if-
yours. Is that mine? I don't know.
we kind of
That
planned
one's
on.
yours now. This one's mine.
We planned on doing this weight loss documentary and making it as crazy as possible. Obviously losing weight, but doing crazy things in the process, like taking an MMA fight. Taking like
You would do an
obviously-
MMA fight?
Hell yeah.
Freddie
Just
wants to so bad.
MMA, like doing
You gotta get
MMA,
your-
I'd
you
have to
gotta-
get down to like 260, what, 265?
265, I think, yeah.
I mean, if you got down to 265, I'd say like do it. I wouldn't say do it at your current state
can't.
because
Yeah.
He
you do.
can't.
And honestly, like halfway through a lot of your jiu-jitsu matches, you tried turtle and stuff. That's not an effective MMA strategy.
No.
That, yeah,
You
that's
know,
not something I would.
I think
a
like
lot of,
turtling
like,
to get up is obvious. Like if you watch MMA, like that's how people.
I
get
wouldn't
up.
really use any jiu-jitsu
But-
in MMA if I'm being real. None.
what?
That's a
I
good.
would- I mean,
That's a
maybe-
really good strategy. I wouldn't do the thing I trained the
The
most.
most thing I've trained, I wouldn't do
I was
that.
just gonna say
Hey,
this.
I've been doing something for 3 years.
say-
That's the one thing I will not
They
do.
say, hey, listen, striking is something I grew up doing. I would 100% go straight to striking instead of doing any jiu-jitsu. If it hit the mat,
Abusing women doesn't count.
whoa, that's wild. Yeah.
I don't know which one it is.
Listen, out of the 4 people here, I am not the misogynist. Okay, that's all I'll say.
Hey, I gotta pee again. Sorry.
Bitch bladder.
I also have a baby bladder.
Baby
I
bladder.
have to piss too, but I haven't done it yet.
Go, dude, do it right now.
Just
Pee yourself.
Cross streams. Wait, hold on. Can we just say that
already pissed myself
the box
twice.
with the sand in it? That's where we're supposed to pee, right?
Yeah.
What? All right, this is back to a Rolls on Rolls episode.
All right.
Gordon Ryan literally follows us.
He
You
does.
guys
No,
should
and
too.
it's not.
You
it-
should.
And you know why we have proof? Just go to our followers list and type in Gordon loves jiu-jitsu. And
Yeah.
guess what you'll find?
You'll find
Gordon
him.
Ryan.
You'll find him following us.
Gordon!
You know who else follows
The
us?
king.
Nor's Apparel, dude.
Nor's Apparel, dude. My future sponsor, I hope. Let's go Norway.
But yeah, something you might have missed a little
So-
bit of is this weight loss documentary. We took it very serious about how long ago was that when we did the garage thing?
We
3 weeks ago, 4 weeks
talked
ago?
with Freddy about his weight loss probably 3 weeks ago.
I'm at about 400 pounds. I think if I can get down to
It's more like 800.
if I can get down to 250, that would be a good spot for me.
250 Freddy. Look at me. Look at it. I'm talking to the camera 3 right here. 250 Freddy wins West Coast Trials. Goes to
That's
ADCC.
That'd
That's
be wild.
crazy.
And I think he pulls bronze medal in ADCC.
Whoa,
For the
Bronze
first
is
time.
crazy.
Bronze in ADCC.
250 pound Freddy. That's what he does.
Not the round of
Freddie.
Not the round of 8.
Freddie, what's your
think?
game plan against Big Dan?
Listen, guys.
Smother.
Let's hear it.
Listen, if we're talking about 250 pound Freddy, I don't think 250 pound Freddy is smother choking anybody.
No?
Wait, I think you're 100%.
Why not?
Because at that point, it's not even a smother. It's a
How big is
crush.
how big
You're
is
crushing
how big is
someone's
Big
face.
Dan?
I think he's like
He's like 290. He's
because
fucking
he's
huge.
6'8".
No, he's
He's
not.
6'8".
Yeah,
No,
he's
he's
like
not.
he's
Yeah.
huge, dude.
No
He's
way.
6'7",
Big
6'8".
Dan is fucking
I'm gonna look it up.
giant. That's why they call Big Dan. Yeah, he's like I want to say.
They
I
call him
think
Big Dan
he's-
because he's big as fuck, sure,
Yeah,
but I don't
he's
think
like-
he's
no,
lighter
he's
than
like-
that?
he's like-
Are you thinking he's lighter than that?
Than
I feel like he's-
290?
I feel like he's heavier.
LeBron
Then
is
290?
Yeah,
Dude,
dude,
LeBron is
290.
260.
No,
He's
dude.
6'9".
He's like
he's
6'7",
skinny.
at least 280
If
pounds.
he's 6'7", he could be over 300.
I can see that.
He's a Romanian giant. He's huge. He actually responded to one of our videos when I
Big Dan?
yeah.
Dude,
'Cause
how about Barrett commenting back on
Dude,
some
that
was
finishing
sick.
details?
Dude,
Yeah.
that was hard.
after
That was hard as
after
fuck.
I was getting my
That's
face
sick.
pushed in, dude.
Yeah,
Let me just say,
He's like, this
out
is
of
how you
all the
crush it
videos
for
we've
sure.
taken, we've probably videotaped
So
at
many.
least 100 to 200 videos. The hardest video to watch. I mean, I edited it. The hardest video to watch was you trying to ninja choke him. It was a 4-minute video.
The assassin choke him.
That's what it's called,
Yeah.
assassin's choke. The assassin choke went for like 2.5 minutes.
Oh, dude.
And you were just
You're just...
dying. Like you were surviving the whole time.
I was
Hey,
praying,
by the way,
dude.
good job, man.
I was
Dude,
like, I
you're
was
tenacious
like,
as fuck. I mean,
I
it's
was
just
like,
hard. It was hard to finish. and-
Assalamu
No
alaikum.
quit in my
crucifix, dude. I felt like Jesus on the fucking cross right there.
That's what it was.
I was on the cross.
I was actually,
Yeah.
I was dying for the sins of my fellow teammates.
Listen, all I know is I've been in that same position. I've been in that same position and gotten tapped over and over again by Joey. And for you to like survive it was awesome. I mean, and eventually you did get on
I
guard,
see you
which
didn't even,
was sick.
You did honestly a unique thing too from the editing perspective. Didn't put any music to it. We just did just
you
Moss
just wanted
suffering.
to hear the.
It was different. It was different than our other videos. Like
just
usually
wanted
our
to-
videos, there's a lot of like fun
Back and
music
forth.
to it, a lot of back and forth.
No.
This one
Maybe
was
done
just
some like
straight
death metal or something.
He wanted
yeah.
to hear the filth.
I wanted
and
you
the
to
grime
hear. I wanted you to hear
in the
Moss.
video.
I wanted you to could hear Moss dying for air because that's all I heard editing it. I was like, what song am I going to put to this? No song.
Just hear the noise.
It was fun. It was a great
the
video.
crop into Freddy or into fucking Joey's face.
His face.
just
You're a
That is
psycho,
pretty
dude. You're kind of a psycho.
Well, also that was right when I could have finished you. That was when like Barrett was like you were focusing on regaining the arm at the expense of the choke. He's like, let it go completely and hang him. And I think that's what you do. I think actually from watching more of his videos, he lets go of the arm more than he does like the leg controlled. Like when I have the arm control with the arm, he lets that go first before like the arm control with the leg.
There was a point where you had me in that crucifix, and you went to when you were choking me. I eventually got the arm that was stuck in your legs out, and I got out, and I was like, "Oh, I'll be able to turn here," and I couldn't rotate fully.
Makes no
Like,
sense.
if I would have been able to rotate fully, I would have ended up in your side control. But like, just the chicken wing you had with my lapel, it was shut down so much. Like, it was stupid.
It's such a great like hold because it doesn't take much from me, and it's almost an impossible grip to break. You just keep that little grip right there on the arm, and it's like you can't turn.
You kept
this way.
readjusting that grip.
The whole thought
I
in
just
my
try to
head,
make it as tight as fuck.
the whole thought
tight
in my
as
head
possible.
was like the only way I'm getting out with this, and which I eventually did to get out, but then eventually get armbarred right after that, was like I needed to get a grip on my lapel that you were using to trap my arm, and that's what I eventually did. Like I don't know if that was the correct thing or the thing you should look for. Eventually, I guess also I got armbarred, but that was my escape I looked for.
And honestly, holding him in one position is fucking hard. Like me using all 800 pounds of me to hold him down in side control is fucking tough. It is fucking tough.
He's going pee.
And so just holding him in that position
bladder.
You
for
better sit
you
down in the dress.
is wild. We come back. He's not wearing a dress when he comes back up. He's wearing his clothes. He's like, I pissed all over it.
He's just naked. He's just naked when he comes back.
That's what we wanted initially.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, how did he start off in a dress? Like, how did he get here in a dress?
Does he
That's
live
wild to
with
me.
a girl? He's got fake tits and a dress.
Like
what?
just having a dress is crazy. Having fake tits with
and a
it.
dress. Yeah. He said he didn't have enough time. This was like shit that he found from his house.
It would have been one thing if he just like went in your bathroom and took your toilet paper to stuff
Yeah.
the dress.
No, he had legit. Let's bring him to the camera.
Does he have it down there?
Yeah, look, here they are.
This is what he was.
Oh my god! That's actually what you stuff your breasts with.
Floppy.
No girlfriend, by the way. He does not have a girlfriend.
Oh wow, just has fake
Dude,
boobies.
this kid feel
and
kind of
dress.
nice.
I like it.
What the heck? I think these are like legit designed
two. There's
for
two.
titties.
100%. You could stuff that
Dude.
for real.
Those are like as big as.
Oh! How does that feel, Bubba?
Those are as big as Joey's nuts.
Oh!
Almost. Like,
Dude, you're a little uneven. You look like you've been nursing for a while, so your tits are uneven.
Like you only did one of them.
Hey, I want to go back to a question I had earlier. So I was asking you, like, when you were rolling at ADCC Open at Arizona, like, you went against a bunch of badasses. And I was asking you pretty much, like, do you think steroids would, like, help you in those situations with those guys? Because it didn't look like you were super outclassed by these people. It just looked like you were, like, just slightly behind them.
It's an interesting question to like say, I probably like what it helps with is like your overall like preparation in your body. Just
Real quick,
being,
you
like,
were in the expert division, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He went against the baddest of the bad at Arizona Open. Like, he went against Derek Rayfield, who, like, invented the buggy. At least, like, he had, like, a viral video of him, like,
Did you
double bugging
Did you go
somebody.
against the kid that was? He's like the combat jiu-jitsu champ.
ADCC guy, or the B team guy?
Yeah, he's a combat jiu-jitsu champion.
To be honest, I don't look up anyone. I have no clue who anyone
But, like,
is.
forgetting, like, the competition, like, off of, like where you stood, like, skill-wise against these guys, do you think, like,
Steroids
would
would
help you? Because that's, like, kind of where we were at that conversation in the middle of the podcast.
To be honest, I don't know, like, I've never experienced steroids, so I don't know, like, how much, like, I don't know how much, like, what exactly that means to me. Like, if it would really help, like, a difference. But, like, in the first match that I lost, basically, I hit a lat drop lat drop, went down, and he rolled all the way through.
Yeah,
And then
the momentum.
they gave him takedown points plus pass points because I think in ADCC you get side control points.
I thought so. My understanding was that in ADCC you couldn't double up on points. You only got points for one thing or the other.
I thought
I watched that match. I didn't think you were like outclassed by
I'm
that
pretty
guy.
sure
Well,
Issa
so
said
so I hit a lat drop. I ended up on side control
Yeah.
bottom.
It was an
because
awesome
I-
lat drop.
I hit the lat drop. I was on top, rolled all the way through, and he got 5 points for that. So whatever that is,
He just uses momentum to roll.
unless it was an incorrect, it was scored incorrectly. I don't know.
Not sure.
yeah, because I don't think that should have been a pass. Like
my-
maybe
yeah.
the takedown.
It was 5 points for that.
So it's
That's crazy.
It's my understanding, and I could be totally wrong. I don't remember who told me this, but like you can't double up on points in ADCC. So like if you get a takedown plus a guard pass, you would only get points for one or the other. You wouldn't get points for both.
Okay.
You'd have to.
Someone was saying that do you get points for hooks in and then body triangle as well?
you get points. I think it's
so.
actually different points.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
you
I
get
mean.
more points from body
Oh.
triangle.
Bitch fucking bladder.
There goes Freddy.
I think you get more points for body triangle versus hooks in
Interesting.
ADCC.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's like something like 3 points for hooks, 4 points for body triangle.
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't
Yeah,
know
which is
about
how
that.
it should be in
I-
reality. Like a body triangle should be more points than hooks.
It's definitely
a
more
better
dominant.
control.
100%.
It's a better
Right.
control. Why would you not award more points for it?
Right. Yeah, that because I think Issa was telling me about that. Like you could just switch your triangle and then, or just like as someone rolls over to like get out of the body triangle, as someone would. Like if you go to hooks to body triangle, like those are sets of points. Like because he was saying that it's so hard to score in ADCC, but once you get in a position to score, it's very easy.
Yeah. So like that's one of the main differences is like in IBJJF, if you get knee on belly, pull your knee off, knee on belly, that's no more additional points.
Right.
In ADCC, you can just knee on belly, knee on belly, knee on belly,
Right.
knee on belly, knee on belly.
You think
over and
that's
over
a
and over.
fault? That,
Interesting.
You think that's a fault? Like if you were I mean, obviously you are your own promotion and you have your own rule set. But like if you're like someone who like helps influence the rules of ADCC, do you think that's a fault or a benefit to the rule set?
I think all points are a fault to the facilitation of the best jiu-jitsu.
Right.
So I think ADCC puts on some incredible matches. I think most of it is because it's such a prestigious competition and such high-level competitors get after it within ADCC. That's why they put on incredible competitions. I don't think it's necessarily because of the rule set. I think the rule set was invented before 99% of the people who are competing in it. It was invented before they were even in jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And now it got this prestige throughout, becoming almost the Olympics of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Or not even almost. It literally is,
It
like
is,
the Olympics of
definitely, 100%.
jiu-jitsu. And
Right.
just starting this year, they started doing the ADCC Opens, which caused an influx of motherfuckers from every single part of the country, of the world, to fly over and do these ADCC Opens. And so it's become an extremely prestigious competition. But I don't think it's because of the rule set. I think it's because of the prestige that's carried with being an ADCC champion.
Right. Yeah, that's like Mo was talking about. He was like, when I was listening to him after the European trials, he was like, this is a submission grappling tournament. He's like, it's not a jiu-jitsu tournament like IBJJF. He's like, this is submission grappling. It just happens to be jiu-jitsu is one of the best, if not the best, submission grappling art to use when competing in ADCC.
Right.
So that might have like an influence on like the thoughts or the.
Hey, I was just talking to someone the
rule
other day.
sets.
They told me spinal locks are illegal in ADCC. Is that true?
I mean,
I
I
don't
haven't
think
seen
so.
I haven't seen somebody been twisted, but like, I
haven't
don't
seen
think
anyone
that's
be
against.
twisted.
That sounds
I'm gonna
kind of
hit it.
ridiculous.
Someone told me that spinal locks are illegal in jiu-jitsu.
Oh,
In jiu-jitsu?
ADCC.
Or
You
not,
mean
in
ADCC,
ADCC,
right.
sorry.
I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, because like, I mean, is what's the takedown that everyone says can bust up your knees where you like kind of sit in the saddle from a single leg? What's that
Oh,
takedown?
scissor
Something
takedown.
like-
yeah, like
Yeah,
a
like a scissor.
Kani Basami.
Yeah,
Kani
is
pastrami.
that
Yeah.
illegal in
Kani
ADCC?
pastrami.
I like the way I said it more.
Kanye
pastrami.
pastrami.
Kanye pastrami. Is that illegal in ADCC?
No.
Then why?
No, because
Gary Tonin.
Gary Tonin
Yeah.
did it to Edwin Najmi.
Yeah.
Yeah, then why? Like, I feel like a spinal lock is even less worse than the possible
Well,
injuries.
Well, just
happening
because
from
one might be
fighting.
worse than the other doesn't mean one technique is
Right.
legal and the other isn't.
Right, like they talk about the 12-2 elbow in MMA, or 12-6 elbow in MMA.
Yeah, I definitely don't think that it's illegal.
The twister?
Don't, yeah, like
I'm not
spinal
sure.
locks. I just don't think it's
Has
happened.
anybody hit it in
Jamie,
an
pull that
open
shit
yet?
up.
Yeah.
Yes.
We
Somebody
need a
has
Jamie.
hit
We
it.
need a Jamie.
In Canada, the Canada Open,
Should be.
somebody hit it at ADCC,
twister?
like
Are you
several
sure?
times. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Are you sure?
100%.
Who's
In
the guy?
advance.
Who's the guy we trained with at Van Buren who also did Butter Smooths? Who's from Atos? Who hit that twister? in
Oh,
your first-
Alex.
Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
Alex is
Has
the
he
man.
done
That
open?
dude's fucking good.
He's so good. Alex
Yeah.
is so good. It's insane. But has he done it open yet? Because like he's obviously very
ADCC open?
proficient in a
I don't know.
twister. So like
Not that I'm aware of.
he might be a person to ask because he does it. I mean, he did it.
I haven't seen him at an ADCC event, but I don't know.
Right.
I just looked it up. Twister is allowed.
I figured.
Someone
There's
told
not a
me-
whole lot that's illegal at
Someone
ADCC.
who told you he's a white belt.
I won't say the name, but it's a recent pod here, so
Oh.
it's a good
Kidding.
friend of mine who knows what he's doing. So
that's
for
good.
some reason that I don't know. I heard that was.
I
illegal.
mean, but
Huh.
rule sets like there's again like there's so many competitions that you might like after you read if you read every rule set to a competition, you're probably gonna merge them together and think some are one or the other.
yeah.
Yada yada.
There's a lot of rule sets in jiu-jitsu for sure.
Well, that's the problem I think with like a lot of jujitsu is that like like versus basketball, where if we show up to a basketball court, it's no like going over a rules meeting
Right.
first. It's we know the rules.
Yeah.
For some reason in jiu-jitsu, there's 17 different competitions and all of them have different rule sets.
Right.
And there should be some sort of uniform rule set. In my opinion, the best of that is to take away all restrictions. It's sub only, all subs legal.
I agree.
Get after it.
Yeah.
I think we forget to talk about it because it's not just jujitsu or like a grappling thing, but like one has a pretty good like idea of like a jujitsu rule set when they do jujitsu matches.
I think one is one of the best martial arts organizations in the
Yeah.
world. Like
It's
even
solid,
like
yeah.
MMA goes, like I love the way that they score MMA as like the whole
I like
match.
the catches.
Yeah.
Like when you get a catch, like that's
That's
points.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they
Yeah,
tell,
they're
it's like an
fantastic.
almost submission or
Right.
almost knockout. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Is it almost knockout or just almost submissions?
I know it's submission. I don't know about the knockout.
Yeah,
But I love and I love watching a one event where like you can get an MMA match, you can get a kickboxing match, and
Right.
a Muay Thai match,
That's
a
pretty
jiu-jitsu
cool.
match.
Yeah.
Like it's fucking awesome.
Like it's cool watching Mikey Musumeci go and dominate in the way he does, and then
Yeah.
watching Rod Tang go and piece somebody
Right,
up for
exactly.
5 rounds
That
and
is
then
pretty
knock
cool.
him out in the 6th
one
round.
is sick.
I saw a video recently where like the I don't know if he was the CEO of one or whatever, but he's an employee of one, and he's talking about the difference between one and the UFC. And you see various UFC fighters are champions of various different organizations or different arts. And it's a smaller percentage of UFC fighters that are champions coming into the UFC. Whereas like a lot of one fighters are champions of what they're kickboxing champions, they're Muay Thai champions, they're jiu-jitsu champions, they're wrestling like whatever it
I
is.
saw that same
They
video.
have more total champions of martial arts in general than the UFC does.
He's like 80% of the roster is a world champion
Right.
in their respective
right.
sport.
They've
He's like-
done the hardest thing they can possibly do in their martial art
Right.
before they came to us.
I think that's
but the thing is like I think UFC pays more still.
Yeah.
Why
They
haven't
might.
they gone to UFC?
Yeah, that I don't know. I don't know.
I
I don't
don't-
know how hard it is to get
At
into
least-
the UFC.
You would think if
obviously-
you're a world champion, like you know what it is maybe like one gives them a longer term guaranteed contract,
Maybe.
and the UFC doesn't do that.
They might pay more, but like Michael Chandler talked about it when he came from Bellator to UFC, and he was like, it was more like the facial recognition, like
Yeah.
the value of having a UFC fighter
Right.
like by
Yeah.
your name next to you, like in
Michael
your
Chandler is-
resume,
yeah,
like versus just Bellator 1
Right.
or PFL, like it's so much greater.
it's different.
Like
yeah.
it's good to your brand. So like if you're having your own business and trying to start your own stuff and make money on your own and not just from fighting,
Yeah.
UFC in your name probably helps so much.
That's totally true. Like I've respected Michael Chandler for his fucking insane psychopath workouts.
Dude's ridiculous.
For his
That
like
motherfucker's crazy.
Bro, is that 4 times? 4.
That's 4 times.
Pussy blood.
I think about Demetrius Johnson though. Like in the UFC, nobody even came close to challenging
Not
that
even
guy.
close.
Fucked everybody up without an effort.
Except for was it Henry that eventually took him out?
Henry's the only guy that beat him.
I don't think Henry won that fight though. Like that was a decision.
I think he did.
It went to
It was
decision.
I think I watched that fight. I think it was a barely win.
Really?
And like a lot of people talk about, oh, if you beat the champion, you really got to beat the champion. You got to like put it on him.
that.
I think
Sure.
you got to take it per fight.
Sure.
Like if you just barely beat the champion, you barely
Right,
beat the champion.
you win, you
and,
win.
And that's what I felt like that fight
sure.
was. He barely beat
I
Demetrius.
felt like DJ pretty handily beat the fuck out of like
Well, that wasn't the case.
he kicked he
Didn't
like
beat the fuck out of him. It was
I
a
mean,
very
in the first
close
fight,
fight.
he had that motherfucker stanky legging.
in the first fight.
No, in the second fight,
was,
he kicked him in the calf and
Yeah.
had him stanky legging.
It was close. I do think
I felt
Henry
like-
Cejudo won that, but like it was very close.
I'd have to go back and rewatch it. I
We
don't
will
know.
watch that. I felt like it was an extremely close fight. I feel like Henry barely beat him.
Yeah.
But outside, so like he goes over to one after barely losing one fight in the UFC. Outside of that, complete
He's
dominance,
been dominating.
just total
yeah,
dominance.
just been
Bigger
fucking
guys,
people
too.
up.
Right. He goes over to ONE FC and he loses. He gets knocked out.
By a bigger guy.
Demetrius.
Yeah. DJ gets knocked out by
He's also hit like one of maybe the greatest knockouts of all time. That like straight
Yeah,
right.
same
into
guy.
to
Flying
stutter,
same,
and then the
same guy
flying
Because that was
Yes.
in their second fight. Or no,
same guy that
yeah,
beat him. Same guy that beat him. So like
What a fucking knockout.
it's hard to argue that like UFC has a higher caliber of fighter when you look at DJ dominating that division
Yeah.
for so long.
DJ did win the third fight though. It
But
was
how
by
has
decision.
DJ
He won
done
2 and 3.
since, though?
Yeah.
By
He had
decision.
that one loss. How is it? Has he lost since?
No, so
No, he knocked out the guy that
That
beat
was
him.
the-
That's
that's
the
the
knockout
highlight
you're
you're
talking
thinking
about.
of.
Yeah.
And then he won so the first one event
So
that happened in America.
dominated the guy that beat him though. Like
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
greatest.
Yeah, yeah.
Put on one of the greatest highlights of
Yeah.
all time.
It's his
For
name's
sure.
Adrian.
and then hasn't lost since,
It's
right?
Moraes, I think.
And then hasn't lost
Morono.
since,
Brazilian
right?
dude,
Something I
maybe.
can't remember his last name.
He's
But
got a name.
for sure. Like I feel
so
like
good.
there's a lot of guys. But the same thing happened to Eddie Alvarez. Like Eddie Alvarez was a
Yeah.
fucking banger in the UFC, but he went over to one and he was still getting fucking beat up.
But
he's still
his,
losing
like,
fight. Like
his
I feel like
last fight,
I
though-
feel like ONE FC still has fucking high caliber dudes. Like
Oh,
it's not
no,
like
one has the
it's not
best.
like
It's-
UFC has like necessarily better guys. Like 'cause,
Not
like
necessarily.
Like,
Right.
I
I feel
think
like
in a lot
marketing.
of cases, maybe, but like not necessarily. I do think like pay influences that a lot.
For
Because
sure,
If
for
this
sure,
is your
for
job, are you gonna go fucking work for the NBA or are you gonna work for some local promotion
Right,
or
for
something?
sure.
You know?
Yeah, you gonna go to the NFL or the CFL?
right.
Yeah.
Well, and I think for sure like a lot of their like just stand up only guys, whether it be Muay Thai or kickboxing, come out of Thailand, and it's easier for them to go because like a lot of one events happen in Singapore. I think that's where they're
Yeah.
like located.
Like there's
centrally.
only been one in the U.S. That was the most
That's what I was.
recent one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like
D3.
DJ beating that guy in the third fight was
Oh.
the first one in America.
With the first one
Yeah.
championship
Rotang,
in America.
exactly. Right.
Rotang also had a brutal.
Honestly,
knockout
like
on
that's
that.
what one's goal should be is just to take over America.
I think they could.
because like they like it's like
so
a.
good.
I would watch it just as much if it was as easy to access, but like most of the time it's like the
It's
fights
on
come on
Amazon
on.
now.
No,
it's on
so
Amazon.
easy.
It's
Amazon.
actually really easy
It's
to access.
free on Amazon Prime.
actually
Oh, no way.
I just
Yeah.
realized this like a month ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, they don't do a good enough marketing.
No.
I don't know.
That might be the thing. Is like
Yeah.
UFC is so much like they've monopolized the market in America at least.
Yeah.
Like, so for Americans, like it's so much easier to see like a UFC fight. Coming
Yeah, the
up.
fact that the sport is called MMA, mixed martial arts, but when you talk to like a casual person,
Like,
they're
yo,
like,
you train UFC?
yeah,
Dude.
that's what they
Yeah.
say.
The same thing happens with jiu-jitsu. When I talk to guys that don't know shit about
Mm-hmm.
martial arts, you talk about jiu-jitsu and you try to explain it to them, they're like, "Oh, like UFC," and I'm like,
It's like it's like
"It's not really, not really."
You're like Ryan Hall. That's who.
Yeah.
Dude, shout out to Ryan Hall. I love that guy.
He's
you?
the man.
I
Yeah,
wish
I
he
like
was.
Ryan Hall a lot.
I want him
like
to have
that guy.
another fight. He needs to get
so
another
good.
fight.
Yeah.
What?
You don't think so?
What do you
His
think?
last couple have,
No,
have
his last
not made me
his
think
last
that.
fight he won on decision.
Did he?
Oh, did
It was the fight before that he got knocked out by Ilya Taporia.
Taporia.
Where you
But
just
I-
like
after that?
spam the
I don't
MMA
give
roll?
fuck, dude. I don't. He wasn't even an MRI roll. It was like some weird front roll shit.
So,
that he
It's
was
like
But
the
that's what
last
he
3
always
fights
does.
in a row. I thought he just like spammed the Imanari roll,
Right.
and like just over and over and over.
But he
and
does a
over.
reverse Imanari roll, and that's what he did to BJ Penn as well.
Well, so
Yeah.
he like rolls into a 50-50 position.
right.
Yeah.
It's like his own.
It's
like,
Imanari
type of roll.
still. It's just like
Yeah.
it's
It's
just
a different
into
roll.
50-50.
It's a well.
You just roll to the other side.
Yeah, but like if you watch his fight against Gray Maynard,
Mm-hmm.
he beat the fuck out of Gray Maynard stand up. Like he just outclassed him in the stand up. He was fucking kicking him in the head. Like
Well,
Like, also
I
speaking of
just haven't
jiu-jitsu
seen that this
people,
last.
speaking of
Well,
jiu-jitsu
yeah,
people,
definitely.
what does Kron do from here? Kron Gracie.
Learn a fucking double leg.
I don't know. Go
I don't
to
know. I haven't seen him fight in a while
take
either.
some
I feel like
fucking
it's been all.
boxing.
Yeah,
or
he just fought
kickboxing or
last
something.
year, or was it earlier this year or last year?
Pretty loosey.
I can't even remember.
it was Charles Jourdain.
Jourdain, yeah.
And Charles Jourdain is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He just won his last fight via guillotine.
I don't care if you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu. If you can just get him down and you're
Kron Gracie.
Kron Gracie.
If you have Gracie in your name,
you're tapping him out.
Yeah.
Just get him down.
I really want to see Mikey Musumeci come do the under 66 kilo ADCC.
He should. That'd be great.
It'd be
Well,
so
and
good.
he's training.
Why is he not doing ADCCs?
I don't know.
He's doing a lot of ones and stuff.
Well, 'cause
maybe
yeah,
his
he's, like,
contract,
training one.
But,
maybe his
like,
contract prevents him.
One's
see that.
cool about that because
don't know.
one gave Gordon a deal where he could do any jiu-jitsu competition. He just can only do MMA matches under one.
Yeah.
And I feel like they would have gave him the same thing because like one's not really
Well,
in
right.
competition with ADCC.
They'll
like,
negotiate with you though. Like
Yeah.
they're the first one they send over is guaranteed going to be you can only compete for us, and it depends on how you respond to that. So maybe
Yeah.
like Mikey is just legit under
because
some sort of
Gary
binding
Tonin
agreement.
has a one deal
Right,
where he
well,
can only
yeah.
do MMA matches but still does jiu-jitsu matches.
Gary Tonin, Tommy Longhocker,
Gordon.
and Rutolo, they're all under one, but they still go to ADCC.
I guarantee everything is
Ty
like
and
is
Cade.
per person
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Like they send over an agreement.
that's true.
That
For sure.
starts off like, hey, sign this, and then like it depends on how
Yeah.
they respond.
I don't know if maybe Musumeci's agent is just fucking dog shit when it comes
Or maybe
to
he doesn't have an
negotiating.
agent or
Maybe
something
he
like
doesn't.
that.
I
Yeah,
don't
he's
know.
just
Them.
like accepting shit.
But
I know I love his
Like-
fucking diet.
yeah, dude, acai
I
and
also love his
pizza.
diet.
Just
Yeah,
pizza
just
and
like
pasta every night,
Pasta,
dude.
pasta every night. Although he trains for 14 hours a day and then
Yeah, Freddy,
fucking
that's the difference.
eats. That's because he talks about like he's like I counted the calories once. It's like around 10,000 calories.
Yeah, but he doesn't eat throughout the day at all.
Yeah,
I will
he
say
trains once all
10,000
day.
calories
and only eats at night.
I will say I ate a pizza to prepare for this because I knew I was going to need the carbs to handle these soccer bombs.
I didn't eat that much today, dude. I'm starving.
I honestly didn't eat that much either.
Yeah, I ate
Maybe
pizza.
we'll get some
I ate a
rolls after this.
Dude.
Oh shit.
And
he
hey,
has
with the
one
way we eat, it's rolls on rolls.
Dude.
Ooh.
It's actually called Rolls on Rolls because of how
Hashtag.
fucking fat Freddy is. Motherfucker's got rolls on rolls, dude.
Low blow, kind of.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
He's an easy target.
I think they're just trying to bully me so that I do get down.
I hope so, dude.
Yeah.
Hope so. It's easier than your
You
making
gotta
it.
see, honestly, what do you respond to best? Do you respond to bullying or do you
I
respond
don't know.
to...
I've never gotten down.
Oh,
so
Freddy, please lose weight.
So
I'm
honestly, like the...
okay, I'll do that.
Have you been bullied before?
Of course he
No.
is. He's fat. Fat
No, I
people get
wasn't fat
bullied.
when I was a kid. If a kid bullied me, I would have fucked them up.
No.
You guys, you guys are
I
lucky
know he
you're my
wasn't.
friends.
You know, I know he wasn't because like one time, like I forget, we were at like a comedy show or something, and like you show a picture of like you as a kid,
I
and it was like
remember
you at 14 and next to this black guy, and like I was like, Freddy, is that you on the left? And like Case was like, no, it's him on the right, the black dude.
Dude, I fucking miss Casey, dude.
Where is Casey?
He moved.
Where do you
He's
move
in
to?
California.
California. Yeah.
That sucks.
Fuck,
We love
dude.
you,
San
Case.
Diego.
I love Case.
Cali
Yeah. Case,
fucking
I
sucks.
know Case is loyal and he's watching this.
I bet he doesn't watch. I don't know if he's watched. I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's even watched his own pod.
Dude, hold
He
on.
has his own podcast?
Well, I mean,
An
like,
episode-
he's
an
been
episode
on mine.
yours,
Yeah,
right.
Dude,
he
his-
was the first episode.
His was so
Oh,
good.
okay.
Me, I
Well,
was-
because No Credentials actually was his idea.
Oh,
and
really?
so, yeah, a long time ago. Like, we were talking about it, just like chilling in the car, and he's like, yo, No Credentials. And I'm like, that's fucking sick. And so we talked about it, like starting a podcast together, and we literally talked about it for probably 2 years. And then, like, during that time, a bunch of stuff happened. You know, literally a million things happened. And then eventually I was like, yo, I'm going to start a podcast. And if you want to do it with me, that's awesome. If not, I'm doing it myself. And I'm like, yo, first fucking $1 million ad, I'll pay you a 10% fee for name creation.
I
Like,
will say the first time listening, when we listened to that, when you dropped your first episode with Case, we were eating In-N-Out in a parking lot.
That's
nice.
true.
It was like probably 12:30 because they closed at 1, and we were just like get our In-N-Out, and we pull in the parking lot. We're like, oh, Joey's telling us about his podcast he's about to start. And we look there and it just dropped. I'm like, guess we're listening to this.
Casey's a fucking natural.
He's
Casey's
so
good. Casey's is a good. I don't know if you listen to the end.
Yeah.
But like by the time we got to the end, it's like the more drunk we got, the more Casey just didn't want to conversate. He just wanted to talk. He's like, oh yeah. Well, anyways, what I was saying.
I'm more of a conversationalist when I'm drunk. When I'm sober,
That's just autism.
when I'm sober, I don't want to fucking talk to anybody.
Yeah.
But you get me drunk and I'll fucking say anything.
And we just gotta
I'll
be
say
careful with what he
anything.
says. Like I said, I'm close right here. Just in case.
I'm down to drop that anytime. No, like that's honestly what a great conversation is, or like anytime you're hanging out with friends or on a podcast or anything is like, you know, when it is more of a back and forth of a like, you know, it's like a dance. It's like, you know, I go, then you go, then you go,
It's
then
like-
I go.
It's like the best part of popcorn reading in elementary school. Do you remember that? Like you'd be
Popcorn reading.
Yeah, like you have to read a passage,
Right,
And your
and somebody
teacher
else.
was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"All right, now you do it."
Right.
But
Yeah.
like this is actually shit we give a fuck about, not
We're
just
just like all
like,
chilling.
Oh, today you're gonna learn about how the typewriter was made. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. Honestly, that's like such a cool thing. That's like what the podcast has like shown me too. Is that like this like for some reason create something where like, yo, I can just hit you guys up and like, yo, you guys want to like talk for like 2 hours at my house? And you're like, what do you want to talk about? Whatever comes up.
Right.
You know? We just like come over and talk. Like how
We'd be down to do this for as many times as you
Oh,
want.
absolutely.
I'd love to have you guys on as many
Yeah.
times. Maybe this could be like a protect your parks type thing.
Dude,
Like,
tell me-
we
Please.
Tell
just
me
like
why-
figure out shit every time.
Tell me why we
I
were
feel-
driving over here and I was talking to Freddy and I was like, dude, I feel like this is gonna end up like protect our parks. And I love it.
Except like we take a.
mushrooms if we want to do. I mean, I don't.
We can do hard drugs.
I do
if
have
you want.
mushrooms. Yeah, if you want.
We don't have mushrooms.
I have mushrooms.
We can get mushrooms.
Nah, we
No, we cannot get mushrooms.
We can't do it.
we
don't
can't
do
get
drugs.
them. We don't know where they
We
are.
don't do drugs. We're all natural athletes.
Did you see that? There was a YouTube short of Nicky Ryan, and they were like, and like B Team's videographer went over to him, and they're like, "Nicky, what are you doing?" He's like, "I am looking for some PEDs right now." And he's like, or as Craig likes to say, they're like PDDs, performance decreasing drugs. Just looking for a joint.
I love the Nicky Ryan voice. Like
Yeah.
he's like a
was
total
my
fucking
go-to.
dork.
Yeah.
I mean, him and like, he's so good at jiu-jitsu, but even Gordon kind
Yeah,
of like,
Gordon, they both have nerd voices.
Yeah.
For sure. Well,
He's
anyway,
like-
I was like, I'm like the best in the world, and like I thought this was gonna happen, and I told you guys I was gonna armbar him, and like I armbarred him, and that's what I did. I told you it's gonna be the best marketing ploy of all the sports history, and basically like that's what I did. And so you know, I come out and I do what I say I'm gonna do, and like that's what I do.
Hey, Butter Smooth 3. Fucking Joey versus Gordon. And
come
Beer
at
Jiu-Jitsu
Gordon.
versus Nicky Ryan.
I'll come at it, Gordon.
Do it, motherfucker.
You know what's hilarious is like I did high rollers like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and like my thought was I'll win this and then like you know do another one and like call out Gordon because at the time it was actually a reasonable thing to do.
Was that
it
when
like
you?
some-
Was that when you said
Flying
like, I
triangle?
don't have that good of cardio, but so I
Yeah.
just wanted to get this out of here
Yeah.
quick.
Oh, yeah, that was
the one,
hard.
yeah.
I had that saved on my phone.
I know, yeah, that was good. I was like, I just have shitty cardio. I just wanted to finish this quick. Stephen Bonner actually commentated my
Yeah,
match.
Stephen
which-
Barner
yeah.
and
Yeah,
what
R.I.P.
and what's her name? There was a female.
Just got
No, it was
Just
a guy.
guy.
It was a guy that was with him.
Was it? I
Yeah,
thought-
it was a guy because
Oh,
like he talked
Isis.
shit about like the leg lock actually.
Oh, that's
yeah. The guy that like Stefan was with, he's like, you know, because I finished the guy via heel hook, like 20 seconds or 27 seconds
You
as the
had
match.
a couple matches, right? You had like 3.
That was the third match, yeah. And like in the third match, I finished him.
It was like 45 seconds.
It was quick.
It was like
quick work.
Yeah, less than a minute for sure. And then the guy that was with Stefan was like, you know, to be honest, I kind of hate leg locks. And like Stefan was like, "Ha, ha, ha."
Loser.
That means they just don't
He's
are
like, wait,
not
wait,
good
are
at
you
leg
serious?
locks. I think they're just not good at leg locks.
He doesn't know jiu-jitsu.
Sounds like fucking Luke Bastion.
Why would you ignore 50% of the body?
All right, John.
I gotta
Honestly,
say,
real
that
quick.
sounds nice.
Fuck Luke.
Hey, you and Luke are very much. You guys are the same.
You guys have great rounds.
It's not true. We're not the same.
I wasn't gonna
I
say.
haven't seen any
great
rolls
rounds.
on rolls with Luke and Colter?
Because it's
Have we?
embarrassing for him.
Has there been any? I haven't seen any.
No, we gotta make
Luke?
one.
I don't know.
I think we gotta make one.
Luke and fucking Colter are really funny together because they're kind of the same person.
Yeah.
Except Luke's 10 years younger.
Not like off the mat. It's hilarious just to be like a fly on the wall and listen to them converse with each other.
Yeah.
Dude, because Luke talks shit about everything. And then
Luke is the most negative human being.
like, we're talking about Colter, though. Because Colter, we think that about Colter.
Yeah,
It's not true.
and then Luke just bumps it up a level.
You're looking in a mirror, Colter.
It's not true.
And that's why they don't like each other.
I'm very positive.
No, they do like each other, but
We
it's
love
like
each other. We love each other.
they love each other, but it's like it's just funny because it's like
They're the
his
same
little
person.
brother that he doesn't realize is his little brother.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Shout out to Luke Bastion.
Luke's great.
The best was Luke just shitting on Colter's moccasins.
Dude, he does it. It's so funny. Like, he does it all the time. But, like, Massimo doesn't do jujitsu, so he doesn't fucking know because he never shows up. Because
Never
he's a
shows
little
up.
2
pussy
classes
ass
a week.
bitch. So he came, like, one night randomly. It's been, like, 3 months since he's done jujitsu or whatever. I don't know. I don't keep track. But Luke was, like, talking shit about my moccasins. And, Massimo just thought it was the most funny fucking thing on the planet. I'm like, he does this literally every time I wear him.
I was like, well, that was the first time I saw it.
You need to do more jiu-jitsu.
Absolutely.
You
Yeah.
are a savage.
I'm hoping.
What's our next comp, boys?
I'm down to like make a commitment right now. Is
I'm
there
down to
something?
make a commitment.
Is there
Is there
something
something
that's
coming
coming up?
What's the next thing all
My
four
ankle's
of us?
healing as long as it's like probably like 3 to 4 weeks from now. I'm down to do
Well,
it.
that makes sense.
All
'Cause
four of
in
us.
3 weeks, I
It's got to be
leave
no
for Europe.
I'm not
Check
doing
out
any
Smooth
geek
Comp.
shit.
It has to be actually like 6 weeks because in 2.5 weeks I leave for Europe for 2
Europe.
weeks.
It has
Quit
to,
being
it
a
has to
gay.
be
He's
no-gi for
literally-
me.
Quit being
He's-
a fucking game up.
He's literally running away from competition.
being a game
I'm
up.
gonna run away to it.
He's
yo.
actually running away from competition. He's so scared to compete. He's
Hey,
leaving the country.
Go
He's
compete in
leaving the
Europe,
fucking
dude.
continent.
You'll do really good there.
Dude, I should go hit up a competition in
Do
Europe.
it. You'll be like, are you a black belt?
All right, so
son?
what
It's
date
funny.
are we saying?
So Eamon's
So like
dad.
November, mid-November on.
I'm down for anything.
I would say late November, early December.
I'm not for anything as long as it's
Sure.
no-gi.
As if it's not
fuck gi.
January.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what we're saying,
Old
bro.
Pueblo Jiu-Jitsu is in November.
We
You know,
should have
one
done.
thing,
We should have done
I'm
last
doing
Warrior.
El Paso probably.
One
some
thing
El Paso
that I don't
tournament.
see honestly on here, but like I know is a thing is fucking Nogi Worlds December.
West
I'm
Coast
doing
Styles.
those. 100.
Yeah.
I'm,
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
God
exactly.
Worlds, dude.
I'm
Yeah.
down to prepare
Maybe.
for that.
I'm doing Nogi Worlds for sure.
Okay.
I'm down.
Let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's do it.
down.
Where is it in Texas?
I'm not sure if it's in Texas or California. I don't
I'm
see it on
there.
Smooth Comp for some reason.
For some, I think I want to say California because I think last year was
Anaheim?
Texas.
It was in
So
Anaheim.
it's usually traditionally been in Anaheim every single year, and then when the pandemic hit, they did it in Texas
Right.
one year.
So I think
And
it's
so-
Anaheim this year.
I can't remember.
I'm not. It's,
I wanna
it's not on
Either
Smooth
way,
Comp
I'm
for
I
some
fucking
remember-
reason.
coming for it.
Well, because I remember last year Issa was trying to hype us up for that, and it was in Texas last
Yeah.
year for sure.
Interesting.
Because I remember him talking about it with us.
We need
There's-
to take a trip to Texas.
There's a tournament in El Paso, Texas.
Joey,
that
do we take
was
a
telling me about.
do we take a smother
this
do
Joey.
we take a Smother Smooth collaboration to like New Wave or B Team?
Dude, I'm down. Yeah,
Smother
we'll go
Smooth,
there.
dude.
Yeah,
Smother
let's
Smooth.
go there
Let's
like with the fucking paparazzi team, like and everything. You know,
Dude,
like we'll,
we
do,
gotta
we'll do
get-
both. I'll do interviews. You'll do interviews. We'll all do interviews.
We gotta get
Hey,
Smother
Craig,
Smooth.
what do you think about the powder?
And we just fucking rent a van and just
Dude.
throw this in the bed.
We do some
Yeah.
fucking
I'm down.
fucking nose beers with Craig Jones.
Should we bring some
It's
nose
funny.
beers? Should
So
we bring some nose beers?
I
mean,
was,
if
I was
We
talk-
don't do
otherwise-
drugs.
otherwise we're asking him to provide it.
I was talking about people I know,
just ask for the hookup and we'll pay.
or I was talking with people I know that might participate in nose beers, and they were like, "We did not realize this was like a umbrella term." Like they thought, like, because they would say it, and they thought it was just some shit they came up with.
That's funny.
And next thing you know, Craig Jones is saying it on fucking
It's crazy.
on UFC Fight Pass.
So I knew immediately I knew what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
me too.
But I've never heard the term before him.
Oh.
Like before him saying that,
Right.
like I didn't know what nose beers were, but like he said that and I
You don't know
immediately
what
knew
nose beers
what he
were?
was talking about. No,
Are you fucking
Use
I've
your
never heard the
fucking
term.
imagination.
What are y'all
man.
No,
fucking
listen.
China?
pussy?
or
what I'm saying, like nobody's ever said that to me. When he
Nose
said it, I knew
beers.
what it meant. Like I didn't have to like wonder what he meant when he
Right.
said it, but nobody's ever said that to me
Right.
before.
So I was
You're
talking
gonna feel it when we go to Texas.
when I was
Are we?
when I was talking
We're gonna
to
do
my
fucking nose beers in Texas.
When I
dude?
was
We'll fucking see. Craig, we're coming for you.
Listen,
when I was talking to
my
a
coworker
friend-
wants to do a hog hunt in Texas, so let's go hog
Dude,
hunt.
I'm trying to
fucking-
I just looked up the IBJJF website, and it starts in January for their tournaments.
well, guess
Joey.
we're going in January.
You want to do a hog hunt in Texas?
Oh, like from the helicopter?
It probably won't
It's
be
gonna
from.
be dude,
It probably won't be from a helicopter.
not
but
from a helicopter.
We'll
be on
Do it from a helicopter.
The helicopter hunt's like 15
we'll be in
grand.
a
Oh, no
vehicle.
way, really?
It's a
Wow.
lot.
We'll be in like a
It's
vehicle.
gonna
looked
be a
it
Rolls
up.
on Rolls episode.
We'll go fucking
That'd be
gun
I'm
down
down
some
to do a
fucking
hog
hogs,
hunt.
dude. We'll go to
Wow.
fucking.
Have you been hunting, Joey?
I've never been hunting.
Dude,
Never been hunting. I would love to. I'm down.
I'll actually add you to our group chat because we have a group chat started. Right
Joey
now
actually
for
lost
hunts.
all of his firearms in a boating accident. It's terrible. It's terrible.
What?
I get it.
All of his guns are gone.
What do
He
you mean?
lost them all.
He's got 2 right here.
Nope. Oh, yeah, this is it. This is all he's got right here.
I don't get it.
I like
though.
it.
It's a joke.
What's the punchline?
The joke is like the ATF can't track your firearms because you lost them all.
Yeah, that's true. That is a joke.
Only me and Massimo get it because we're the only ones that actually.
I do get it though. I do get
I
it.
don't get it.
You picked it up late.
Like, so you kind of like. There's a thing with like. This is off record, but
In Minecraft,
there's a
In
thing
Minecraft.
like with ARs specifically because ARs are like very
it's a hot topic.
like you can
amongst
it's hot topic,
anti-gun owners.
but like in the building strategy for ARs, they're kind of like they're like an easy puzzle. Like you can pull them apart and like put them
ARs.
together with like other like parts from different ARs.
Very easily, you're saying.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
a Frankenstein gun. You can
Right.
base them. So there's a popular thing like you buy a gun, you swap a lower with somebody else's lower, and that is where the VIN number and like the number of like the model,
The serial.
and the serial
So
number.
you like create a killing machine.
No, you
did
just
that?
swap lowers with somebody, so you have different serial numbers, so you can't track it. And as long as you're in a state like Arizona where you don't have to register your guns, the government can't find the guns you've bought. And so if ever some like crazy, what am I trying to think? Communist party tries to take control in a dictatorship and they try to come take your guns, they can't track your guns because you don't have the same matching VIN
Oh, you're talking about
matching
like
serial
in
numbers.
a point of like a tyrannical
Yeah.
government,
Yeah.
and like they're coming after everyone with
Yeah.
with guns.
Pretty
Like they
much.
won't be able to know your gun.
Yeah, pretty much.
They try to come and take your guns for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I mean, it happened to Australia. It's
Yeah,
not like
happened
it's
to
like
Australia. But Australia also lost the kangaroo war, and you can fact check that.
To
You
be
ever-
honest,
you know
like
what?
it's good to like maintain guns. Like the point of
agree.
like the point of the guns is to like control yourself against a
Yeah.
potentially tyrannical government. Like if
Yeah.
we're ever to a point where we've gotten to a point where government is too much in control, it's fucking right now.
Right.
Are you kidding me? Like the government has an insane amount of control
Yeah.
over us, and like an insane amount of, you know, like we pay them so much money every year for them to just like run up this insane deficit where like even with taxpayer money they don't make enough, and then we
Yeah.
just, you know, just print money and money and money and money and money and money, and to
Yeah.
the point that we're at this point where fucking, you know, gas is $5 a gallon, eggs are like
man.
$6
$9
billion going to Ukraine.
Dude,
right
that's
now.
what I was gonna say. They send
Insane
fucking
amount.
billions to Ukraine, but then like our own in our own country, we have Hawaii fucking burning down.
We
and they're
sent
like,
so
here's
much-
$700 for
lasers.
your entire family.
We
was the
sent so
lasers.
much that we like lost 6 billion. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
We sent so much to Ukraine that it was like they lost 6 billion.
yeah,
It's like, oh, it was an accounting error.
Right.
we're like.
It's-
We're not gonna get political. Fucking a couple of sake bombs. later.
It's a crazy thing. Another thing, like go back onto the guns we were just talking about. Like we think about like people that are pro gun and like anti gun and being a reason why like firearm restrictions like get tighter and stuff. But like sometimes there's like issues in the pro firearm community that lead to more firearm rules. Like I think the big thing is like people that are like really like competition shooting, so they use like very advanced handguns and very advanced ARs with light trigger systems versus like everyday hunters that everyone calls the I can't remember the term they use, but like there's the hunters that are like, oh, I just need a bolt action rifle that holds 30 rounds. Like I don't need an AR that holds 30 rounds. Like that's, you're like hurting your own community from the inside and you don't realize it.
Yeah.
When like the competition shooters, there might even be like a vegan competition shooter, and they're like, I don't get the point of hunting. I just want a gun for fun to shoot targets with. So like the communities are hurting each other, and they don't even realize it.
Yeah.
When like you really like you both need to fight for the same thing because it's all or nothing with the government. Like you're either giving them all your guns, like you're not just going to give them a little bit,
Right.
Like they think that, or they're like, oh, once things get better, they'll give us this thing that we gave them back. But like the government doesn't give you shit back after
Right.
you already gave it to them.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
It's like anytime you give up a right, you're like not getting it back.
No.
Right.
No, because
I
then they're
agree.
losing a right. The government's losing a right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear that all the time with like when people get pulled over and like they want to like plead the fifth or whatever it is, like they don't want to talk to the cops, and like I hear a lot of people talk about like, well, if you didn't do anything wrong, like why wouldn't you just talk to them? It's like, well, it's use it or lose it with your rights. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to. I don't have
Yeah.
to fucking say shit if I don't want to. So like I'm not going to,
It's
because
just like-
if I just give up my rights, like they're just gone. And
Yeah.
if enough people just give up the rights, then they're just gone
Yeah.
for everybody.
It's the same exact thing, except a more invasive step is with your phone. It's like if I'm not doing anything illegal, why does it matter if they're looking at me? That's not the point.
It doesn't-
If people
yeah.
are looking at your shit, it's like, they're going to start pointing out that, at one point it's like you're smoking pot and now that's illegal. Maybe you're not using it for the purpose that that it was allowed, or like maybe it's like fucking, to be honest, it doesn't matter what I'm doing. It's
Right.
like maybe I'm doing mushrooms and like I should be allowed to fucking control my own life. It's my own cognition. I'm allowed to fucking mess with it or do whatever I want. If you're watching me do that, that's a overstep of your fucking boundaries. That's
Right. I
agree.
that's not what should be allowed.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
funny that like that whole mindset is kind of like people label as like a right-leaning subject, but another subject that I'm very adamant about is the access to public lands, which public lands is a big like left mindset because like a lot of right like believe in private land and owning my property and you can't
Yeah.
go on it. Public lands is very left, even though it's the same thing along like as long as we keep the public lands to the people. I mean, I guess it's still giving it to the government because government kind of controls public lands. That's what makes it public and everybody can use it. But something I like the ability to access public lands, and like there's a foundation called American Prairie, and they're doing a thing where they're like buying private land and then making it public to everybody. And as nice, like I eventually myself want to own like 40 acres on a nice house and have my own land. But I think everybody, like if you just have an apartment and you can't afford a big property, it's nice to have the access to go out in nature and enjoy yourself.
Be able to do that. Well, I mean, that's a
Yeah.
super important point for sure. It's like how in New York, like there's the fucking Park Square, or
Right.
what's a
Central Park?
Yeah,
Central
Central
Park. Like that's a federally owned property that like all the most expensive real estate in the entire world surrounds because
Right.
it's fronting a park, because it's fronting natural like fucking nature. It's not fronting another building that you're looking at. It's fronting fucking nature. And like that's one thing that's super interesting about Arizona, like just being in real estate. That is one of the reasons that some people come here. Only, I don't know if you guys know this, but like only like 17% of Arizona is privately owned.
Interesting.
I know that
The
from
other-
the reverse because I pay attention to public lands from hunting, so I know that like Arizona's a very large state for public lands because like
Most
Texas
of it is
like 97% private.
99. Yeah, it's like 99 plus. Like that was one of the conditions that Texas like maintained to become a part of the union, was that they would maintain all of their private land. So they're like 99.9% private land.
Yeah, it's
Which
crazy.
is really cool, honestly. Like I mean, if you look at like certain places, like basically anywhere you look in the entire Texas, like some guy owns that.
Yeah.
Which in Arizona, only 17% is privately owned, which is a crazy statistic if you really think about it. It's like 83% is either federal, state, or Indian reservation.
Right.
Wow.
So most of the Arizona, by a mass majority, is not privately owned. So if you think that we're like, overgrowing or something, we're only growing within this like specified amount that's privately owned.
Right. We have a lot of big like national forests and stuff. And I think that people are like, if like people have the idea to be against public land, it's because it's government control. I think that if we could figure out a way to have a third party like monitor and like take care of the land, I think that would be a lot better in people's eyes. Like that, I was just saying, the American Prairie Foundation, they control that and they maintain it and make it look nice. So I think it's the idea that like, oh, the government owns this public land, so they can just shut it off anytime, even though it's for the people. So I think maybe a third party solution could be the best to like getting everybody on board to have land that anybody can access.
The libertarians.
Yeah.
You get them on.
Yeah.
Honestly, I voted for Joe Jorgensen last election.
Nice.
She was the lady.
I voted for Kanye.
Dude, I think RK might get assassinated this election.
Dude, maybe.
Just like his fucking.
That guy seems like a
pops and-
reasonable candidate. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
100%.
Robert Kennedy?
Yeah.
I'm
Jr.?
actually not even registered to vote.
So I am
Wow.
also not. That's like why I can't. I think it's like I'm not identifying as a party. I think that's fucking bullshit. I don't want to identify as a party, and like it's kind of fucking crazy that you have to identify as a party to vote in the primaries.
Right.
I mean that's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I like no matter what, I refuse to make that decision.
I think
So-
I think politicians are fucking scumbags. All of
Yeah.
them, every single one. I don't
Yeah.
care what party you come from.
Yeah.
I think career politics is the worst thing that's ever happened to society in general.
Yeah.
Like the idea that people just like it just like fall in line. Like it's like a legacy thing. Like your dad did it and his dad did it and his
Right.
dad did it, and so you just fall in line. Like you just do politics because that's what your family does, and like there's no volunteer politics anymore. Like everybody's just making money off
Yeah,
the American
it's people who are already very rich. That's
Yeah,
the thing
exactly.
too. You have to be very rich to get in politics in the first place because
Yeah.
your
Last
whole
names.
campaign, it
Exactly,
takes
yeah.
a lot of money. You got to like fucking spend a couple $100,000 just to like in your
It's not
very
even
initial
100
campaign.
I wish it was 100 grand. I think Robert Kennedy talked about when he was on JRE. It's like to run for
President is another
like
level.
$500 million
God
in
damn.
campaign, and he said to run for governor was like I want to say like at least $500,000 for sure, and then 500 mil for president.
Probably
It
more.
was crazy.
Yeah,
It was
that's
something
crazy.
stupid.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, career politics is just anybody that gets into like politics just to, like for the sheer fact of making money is like, I mean,
They're just fucks.
yeah, we don't. The rest of us don't have a chance.
It's like if that's your goal in the first place, like like what I want to do with my life is like be in charge of people.
That's
like you're
crazy.
a weird person in the first place,
Right.
And
Yeah.
like that's like what a lot of them are. That's like I want to like make rules.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like-
nobody that should be in charge and can make good decisions wants to be in charge.
Exactly. Yeah. None of the people that like should be. It's like that's the guy that should be our guy. None of them want to do it in the first place.
Right. Because
Just all power tripping.
Yeah.
it's a ridiculous position for a single individual to be put in.
it's rough because like if JFK Jr. does like run for president and like people do vote for him, it's gonna be a lot of like Republican voters that like take away from the Republican vote to vote for.
Which is weird. Isn't like RFK like running as a Democrat?
So
I don't know how he's
So
running.
he is
I'm pretty sure-
Democratic.
He's running third party.
So he's
No, I'm pretty
Democrat.
sure he's running Democrat.
I don't think he is because he has if Biden
Right. That's the
it
thing.
called?
Biden
He
is going to be the Democratic leader. So JFK Jr. is
I
going to
think
have to run
he's
as
either
As
running
third
third.
party?
He has
Party.
to do third party or he's going to run Republican.
What party is he
like-
doing? Like libertarian? Or
that
something?
I'm not sure, but like I know like Trump is like 50 points ahead of any other Republican,
Which is crazy.
So it's basically
Which is crazy. Can
Absolutely.
you believe that guy? Like, I mean, like, if I don't know, it seems kind of crazy that like that person would even be in the running for the next one. Like,
if you-
he lost a lot of shit. I know there's a lot of diehard Trump fans, but like, if you just look at like the health of the country, or I don't know, it just does not seem like the best choice.
It's
for
crazy.
us to like put forward.
it's
Right.
crazy to think like him facing various different like felonies. Like If he gets elected, we could have a president in fucking prison.
Apparently, yeah, that's the thing where like he could be convicted and still be president
Yeah.
because there's not a law that addresses that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
We could still
That's
somebody in prison.
wild.
We could vote them into presidency.
Yeah.
How many billion people are in America?
No.
Well,
No,
seven-
we don't have a.
It's not like India.
No, it's 7
No,
billion,
no.
right? Isn't it?
There's
No,
billions.
7 billion.
Yeah,
is
billions
the
of
world.
people.
billion.
No,
That's
no,
the
no,
billions
world.
of people, and
That's
we
the
landed
world.
on.
That's the world.
Is that the world?
We landed
Yeah.
on.
We have like
in our 2 parties. We have.
It's like 2
JB.
billion just in India. I know
we
that.
have. I can't remember exactly. 300. 300
Jamie, pull
million?
that up.
No.
No,
more
it
than
was
that.
billions.
It's close to a billion.
We
but
don't
I
have a
it's not
billion in
It's
America.
not
We don't
It's
have
not
a
a
billion in
billion?
America. No. Not in America.
It's
330 million.
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
not-
Right.
Yeah.
300 million.
Yeah.
There's- Oh, nice.
330
Yeah.
There's 7 billion in the
Nice
world,
work.
right?
I was thinking there was just 300 million homeless people in LA.
Cheers,
That's-
boys.
That's what it feels like.
Cheers. Oh, come on, dress boy.
I gotta pee again. I feel like me and Moss have been on a tear for peeing.
All I gotta say is, it's coming out the same color as the toilet water, clear as fuck.
It means you're hydrated?
Maybe it just means I have such a great filter.
You know what? The number one ingredient in beer is water.
No,
Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
dude, that's crazy.
That's why, dude. We're all
That's
hydrated.
insane.
Good beer means good water.
Oh, speaking of beer, it's the only way the Egyptians could filter water. And you know what else the Egyptians did? The pyramids.
Wow. Actually, that was
Fucking-
aliens.
Hey man, we don't know who built the fucking pyramids.
Dude, so you know what's crazy? I've heard, and I don't know for sure, but IPAs, when Britain was
Are
going...
Egyptian.
Yeah, they're Egyptian. They're actually Egyptian pale ales, not Indian pale ales. It was a way that like British
It's one of the pharaohs.
soldiers would like make beer so they could carry it that long distance across the
Really?
world.
Like the bitterness of IPA?
Yeah, so they would hop it up like that so that it would stay fresh, like it wouldn't like
Oh.
mold or like get like.
So
And
I'm
they're
not a big
disgusting. I
IPA.
fucking hate IPAs.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
fuck
I was gonna say I'm not an IPA drinker because I don't like the bitterness.
No, they're terrible.
It adds, but like I guess like the way you say how like it makes it more fresh.
Yeah.
Does that mean does the bitterness dilute like the longer like the older the beer is? So that means it would taste more like a normal beer.
Interesting. I'm not sure.
Because maybe
I
that's what they were
don't
going
think
for.
so. I can't imagine that.
Maybe
the
that's what
case.
they were going for, and then they're like, "Oh, it's not too bad if you just drink it right away."
No, they probably just wanted to get drunk and didn't give a fuck.
That's
Like
true.
they didn't know any better. Like
That's
they
true.
didn't care.
Like how?
But, like
so
IPAs are huge.
That means
People
how
love
drunk,
IPAs.
How drunk were hipsters love IPAs?
Yeah.
Yeah, but hipsters make up a big
If you
part of like
ride-
who drinks craft beers.
Yeah, if you ride a Harley Iron 883 Sportster, you drink IPAs.
You lost
Listen.
me.
I would love to own a motorcycle. I'm not a huge I'm not a huge Harley fan.
I miss my motorcycle.
I think they're overrated, but like I love craft beers. I'm huge into craft beers, but I also love
Cafe-
Like
so-
outside of that, like I love PBR is one of my favorite beers of all time.
Hipsters
Which, by the way,
Fresh beer.
PBR sponsor us.
Hipsters love
I love
a,
PBRs.
they love a bike style called a Cafe Racer.
Yeah, I would love a cafe racer.
Dude, they're so sick.
They're awesome.
like freaking barless handles. They have leather seats. They're freaking dude. They're so nice.
I feel like cafe racer is like a really good in between like a
sports
having like a cruiser
bike.
and like a sport bike.
Yeah,
like you get the
100%.
best of both
100%.
worlds. Like
they're aesthetically pleasing. They
absolutely,
sound
they're
nice.
the best.
So basically, we were talking about cafe racers and how they built the pyramids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, whoever made cafe racers also built the pyramids.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey man.
Confirmed.
No, they didn't.
Tell
You
us
don't
about
know
the pyramids.
shit. You don't know
Tell us about
shit,
the
dude.
pyramids.
I think
We-
aliens built
Your
built the
tiny little
pyramids.
fucking Tongan
that's
brain can't
entirely
even
possible.
fucking.
That's fucking possible.
I think the aliens built the pyramids.
Here's all I'll say about the pyramids.
That's what I said.
When you look at the pyramids, like, let's talk about the Great Pyramid of Giza. It's like 2.5 million stone that were put into the pyramid.
Yeah.
If we're saying that people
Like stone, like physical stone, or like how the
Pieces-
the
there's
UK,
got
how
2.5
the
million
UK
pieces of
weighs
stone.
people.
They got stoned and then did it.
is stone Kyllo? Is that
I
what
don't
they
know.
say?
What is a stone?
No. No, well, as far as the pyramid's concerned,
No.
a
It's
No, I'm
stone-
talking about like how
the
they weigh
weight.
people because people
Right.
will say like
Dude,
a
I'm
stone
thinking-
is
they're
like
like-
2
they're like-
pounds.
been like,
a little
they're
over
like,
2
yeah.
pounds.
They're like,
2.2, right?
I weighed in at the fight and I was only
Yeah.
30 stone.
Yeah,
so a
it's
stone
big
is
in,
like
like, the
2
British
pounds.
Isles,
Like
right?
a pound is like 2 kilos.
Yeah.
So like it's the
I think a
opposite.
stone is more than that.
It's
Hey,
2.2.
hey
Let's
Jamie,
look it
it's
up.
Jamie, look it up.
I'm
It's
Jamie
2.2
right now.
A kilogram is less than a pound.
that.
A stone is
Yeah.
more than a pound.
Yeah.
Like it's about like almost
really?
half. Yeah, like
In
it's
my
almost.
head, I thought kilo and stone was the same thing.
I thought stone
No,
was
no,
like,
no.
The
like something way
stone
off.
or stone weight is an English and British imperial unit of mass equal to 14 pounds.
See, I knew
which
it was
is
fucking huge.
6.35
Yeah,
kilograms.
because like when people say they're like so many stones, they're only like saying single digit numbers.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
that's not what I'm talking about when I say 2.5
You 100
million stones.
stones.
There's 2.5 million like pieces of
Big ass, and they weigh like
Like,
2
yeah,
tons,
pieces
right?
of,
like,
like,
we're
stone-
talking
like-
like granite,
like
a certain
stone
type of
bricks.
granite.
Like pieces of like 100,000 pound or like a
They're
1,000
like
pound
a ton.
stone.
I don't know
stone.
how many pounds it
Yeah,
is,
like a
but
1,000 pound, like, or a ton,
what
2,000
the fuck
pound.
do you know, Freddy?
listen, all I know is if we're talking about Egypt and we're talking about these pyramids, we don't really, because you said aliens built the pyramids. We
That's
don't
what I
really
think.
fucking know because there's water erosion on the pyramids.
We don't know
Yeah.
for sure.
That would date back to like thousands and thousands of years ago. Like before, like, people will try to say like the pyramids were built to put like pharaohs in when they die.
Right.
Yeah.
We've never found a body in the pyramids.
Never.
Never.
No, except for like the pharaohs that like were found after the pyramids start. So like one of the things, the Sphinx with the body of a lion and the man of the pharaoh, like one of the most famous pharaohs, like
Tut.
Tut, yeah, King Tut. It's King Tut's face and the body of a lion. But if you look at it, the proportions are the body is a full body. The head is much smaller than the body. So what they think is what happened is that these
shaved it
people
down.
found this shit, fucking inhabited the space, and then this guy was king, so they shaved down the face to look like King Tut. And
Yeah.
so it's the face of the body of a lion and the face of King Tut.
Yep.
That's like the Cleopatra documentary on Netflix is cool, but like I don't care. The pyramids were built like 3,000 years before she was.
We don't know how long. We literally
Exactly.
don't know.
Literally don't know how
Like
long.
the pyramids are built so perfectly. Like I said, 2.5 million stones are built into this pyramid.
Well-
like, and if we think that, like, what we think is people built it like 1,000 to 2,000 years ago. If that were the case, then they were using like picks and like there's just no way it's so perfectly made. It's like laser precision.
Exactly.
The front of the pyramid is like facing true north.
Yeah.
When I say true north, I mean like the North
Perfectly.
Pole.
Yeah. Perfectly.
And if that's the case, and we're talking about like 2.5 million stones are put together so perfectly that it's like it's just laser precision.
It doesn't make sense if they did it with like fucking nincompoop technology.
Exactly.
It does
Oh,
not
a
make
They
hammer
sense.
and
couldn't build
chisel.
it that perfect. It's just if it's handmade, it's not that perfect.
Yeah.
So in my head, I think that maybe aliens made it. Maybe there was a whole other civilization like that happened before the Younger Dryas that had technology that we can't even fathom.
Just some like smart fucks.
Smart fucks with technology that is way beyond ours. So when I say the Younger Dryas, there's an idea out there. Shout out Mr. Hancock. There's an idea out there that
Graham
we got hit by an asteroid that destroyed most of the world, that caused the Ice Age, and it completely like destroyed the civilization that came before us. So like Atlantis, whatever was in Antarctica, like they're finding
There's a
shit all
pyramid
over
in
the world.
Antarctica.
I don't know if that's real, but there's shit that they're finding all over the world that would date back to these times that came before the Younger Dryas. We don't know who built the pyramids, honestly, because it's so perfect. They think that the pyramids weren't even like a place where you could put mummies in. They thought the pyramids were like a place. where it would like generate energy for a city that was close by.
Yeah, I'm like, imagine like it was created by some other shit, and then like human idiots like us like walked up to them and like, yeah, this is our shit. We're living here, and that's why the fucking that Sphinx is created, and that's why like all of these things were created. That's why these like legends were buried in it, because like they're like, this is ours, but like they didn't create that shit.
No
because
way.
like how you talked about, there's 2.5 million stones that were sourced from a location that was like 100 million miles away.
Yeah, like 500 miles away. But if you think of it, like back in the day, we don't have cars, we don't have trucks,
nothing.
We don't have.
We have to like
ships
stone roll. It was like 500 miles away. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. And you had to either like put giant logs underneath and just roll it over.
Yeah.
Which like one stone would take like 47 years.
Yeah, we're
something
talking
like
about
that.
tons and
we're
tons
talking
of
about
weight.
2.5 million
They were saying-
stones
they were
that
saying
like
if-
are brought over.
They were saying if Elon like used his money to build the pyramid, it would take like 20 something fucking.
It would take
almost nearly
so
30
long.
years to build.
It would take. Think
there's
about
no
like
way.
Think about like cranes can't carry like the stuff that we're talking about. We're talking about like tons and tons of weight when it comes to like
And, like,
granite.
Which, by the way, kind of a little off topic, the biggest crane in the world is in Arizona right now.
Really? Is
Really?
it at the fucking the chip plant?
TSMC. Yes, sir.
Damn.
Yeah.
Interesting.
As far as like can carry the most weight in the world, it's at TSMC right now. Biggest
Wow.
crane in the world.
That's
Good.
fucking
You drove past it
crazy.
twice in this last
Me?
weekend. Yeah.
But
On
we're talking about
I-17.
like thousands and thousands of years ago to build these pyramids.
They didn't have
What
cranes,
kind
or
of structure would they
apparently-
have around it to be
Yeah.
able to pick up
Like we
this
didn't have
weight?
cranes. Yeah.
We didn't have cranes.
Unless they were doing it by some other shit that like they left
Sound.
no evidence of. That's what they think. Like otherwise they left. Maybe they had cranes and shit, but they left no evidence of them. You know.
We don't
That's
really
fucking-
fucking know.
We literally
That's
don't know.
insane.
It's just like if our world was like hit by a fucking asteroid right now, we're like literally in the forest.
Yeah.
That's all we have. How long until you're sending me an email?
Oh, dude, it's so long. I remember because I took engineering in college for the brief year I was in actual college, and like we talked about like how is like just little shit like that, or like not even an email, just like a radio. Like how long before you can build your own radio from nothing?
Dude, it's
It
not
happened.
like it's gonna be hundreds of or
It'll be our
thousands of years.
kids.
I will say sometimes
maybe.
I romanticize the apocalypse.
I feel like everyone romanticizes a time different than now.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's true.
You
For
gotta
sure.
just like love what's happening. You
Yeah,
know, because
yeah.
like that's like that's your only option. Why
Yeah.
do you like, oh, it was so much better before?
Right.
Because like, I've worked with guys that were like, just like 10, 15 years older than me, and they're like, oh, you have it so good. You're in the Tinder age, or like, you like just can, hit up a random girl whenever you want. I'm like, I romanticize the time where the girls didn't have the option of 100 guys
Right.
swiping right of them, and you had to walk up to them and say, "Hey, baby, how you doing?
Yeah.
What's your
and
name?
How you?" And then, and through that, either you created a connection or you didn't, and like that was everything or nothing, and you had to make something happen through that. And there wasn't like every single girl has like 300 guys in their DMs thinking there's a million people there.
Right.
And so I think it's like such a interesting period in time where like if I said, hey, there's no phones don't exist. I walk up to you, I'm like, hey, how you doing? Well, we have this great connection. You want to meet this Friday? Okay, we're meeting this Friday. Now we have to either meet there or fucking nothing. It's either
Right.
we came to this agreement. We're like, yo, we're going to show up at this time.
Right.
2 weeks in the head. There's no Facebook. There's literally nothing. There's no Instagram. Anything I can like reach out and like make sure
If you
you're
don't
going to
make
be
it,
there.
you probably got eaten.
You
by
just
a
got to
lion.
show up at this time and like that happens. And imagine when it actually comes through
Yeah.
where I say like now is Saturday and like I'm saying next Friday we'll meet at this fucking milkshake shop and like hang out and like you actually show up. Imagine how much
Crazy.
more deep that feels
100%.
than this like, we're like hanging out or we're, basically
Right.
know each other before we even meet each other like online.
Yeah, I will say at least if you want to look at the good part of today's society, that like if you created a successful relationship with someone, like you were the best out of a couple hundred people. Like so.
Previously or now?
No, like because you're like there's like 300 people in someone's DMs like trying to get your attention, but you're the one that they focus on, and they don't listen to the outside noise. So it's kind of like a thing to like you could pat yourself on the back for, or
like you're doing even better than previous people.
Exactly.
That's an interesting thought.
Like if you think about it from a time before you had not even just social media, but like a way to contact someone, like a home phone, like people probably got together because they didn't have a ton of options.
That's a good
so
point.
they settled sooner.
And now, like, girls have millions of options, but like, if you're able to pull one, you make it happen.
Right.
Which, by the way, I met the love of my life through coming and coaching Freddy. So it's basically
Really,
Freddy.
Freddy's the
I'm pretty
reason.
much the best man at this point.
Yeah, I don't think you should be. Maybe honestly, that's happened. You're definitely in the groomsmen.
I might have to be at the altar, like marrying you.
You
guys.
maybe that's what happened. Honestly. Yeah.
Dude, and you wear the Skeletor outfit.
And like I was saying earlier, I was like fucking screaming like a psycho, like, Freddy, 7 minutes of pressure.
And she still wanted to go
And
out.
she still liked me. So
Still wanted to go out.
yeah,
was
how
fun,
cool
though.
is that?
That
Yeah.
was a good time. I probably got like $1,000 worth of weed that night.
Dude, let's go.
Dude, shout out to
That is
High
sick.
Rollers. Shout out to Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. I was also there coaching. And, I don't have a fucking cool jiu-jitsu girlfriend. So.
Hey, fuck! Hey, on both sides, you guys were really smart about that because after the first match, you went to the other side of the mat. You were like, if he goes over there, I'm coaching him, and if he goes to this side, you're coaching him. And I heard both. Like I remember in my second match, you had. There was a moment where you were like, "Hey, get that pressure.
Can we get a
put
tally
pressure
going?
down on him?" And you like
A piss
you coached
tally?
me through power half. Was that 5 or what?
I have no idea.
Wow,
I'm about to go again though. I have to piss.
really?
Yeah.
I think I'm
Should
good
we
for-
wrap it up now?
What was that?
Should we wrap it up?
I'm good. How much is that?
We're close to 3 hours, honestly.
Shut the fuck
God.
up.
That's crazy.
Doesn't
That's
sound-
wild, dude.
We'll have to get a Rolls on Rolls episode 2 going.
Let's go. We got to. Honestly, this has sparked it. Let's wait till Moss comes back up and then we'll wrap it up.
Got you.
We can't wrap it up without Moss. That'd be rude.
But it was a great time. The high rollers competition for all
Super
of us.
fun
That was
time.
fun.
High Rolls was sick.
You know.
It was super sick.
Yep.
So
really
high
good.
rollers also takes like EBI overtime.
Yeah.
But
We do
if,
everything.
if there's no finish in EBI, it goes to like first score, right?
Yes.
I don't know. It was really hard for me to follow actually. Like I couldn't understand like when and why people were scoring and like when the match ended and like why like
Well, that's one of the
I didn't
problems with,
understand the
new rule
overtimes.
sets. Like that's one of my main things with like ADCC. If it were to be invented right now and somewhere just to implement it, no way it catches wave.
Right.
Like no way just someone learns a new extremely complex rule set.
Right.
Like the only reason that, or one of the main reasons that it does is like so great is because it's already established this great prestige.
yeah.
It was like 5 minutes. It was like a normal round where it was sub only. The next 2 minutes, 1 minute was for me being on somebody's back, and then the other minute was him being on my back. And then the last minute, so it's 8 minutes of a round.
Yeah.
The last minute was first to score,
That's what
and
I
then it's ref decision.
I felt like that was my understanding, but I felt like there were so many matches I watched where it got to like that golden score, and there was what should have been a scoring exchange, and like it didn't end.
Also, the
And I think the
high
ref was
as
so
fuck.
fucking high, he didn't even know what was happening anymore. Dude, that motherfucker was so stoned, he forgot the fucking rules.
That's
He's
part
just
of the
watching.
problem.
He's like, that was a dope takedown.
Holy shit, dude!
That's it. Honestly, like the fucking I forget his name. It starts with the L, I think. And, like one of the organizers of it, he called out in the middle. He's like, "Yo, high rollers, the only tournament where if you pass a drug test, you are fired."
Yeah, I think that's the dude that like owns it, like
Yeah.
runs it. He's like the
I
head
think
dude.
it's Lanai or something. I
can't remember
forget his
his
name.
name.
He's a cool guy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really cool guy. It's him in Panama. Like him and Panama are the main dudes. It's Lanai or Lanoy. Like, I forget
I can't
his last
remember his
name.
name.
Yeah, he's the man now.
It was a fun.
It was
comp.
lit.
That was
It was
Yeah.
pretty lit.
Well, hey, thank you all for coming on. Thank you for the Rolls on Rolls
Thank
pod.
you.
Hell
Fucking
yeah.
rolling through. I gotta say, I think we've like beaten the record. Like this is the longest pod that I've done on
Hell
No
yeah.
Credentials before. So
Well, I
We're going
figured
for 10 hours next.
yeah, that's what we'll do.
I can't believe
So,
it's been 3 hours.
That's
yeah.
Hold on,
wild.
it's been 3 hours.
about
yeah,
3 hours.
2
It's
hours
like-
and 57 minutes right now.
All right,
Yeah,
are
You
we
put
gonna-
the shiesty back on.
Honestly, if the three of us would have started, we'd be like well over like 3.5 now or something.
That's true.
You know,
That's
before.
Yeah, that's true.
We
Right.
came up here, put on the headphones, just like testing it out. I like honestly, I've never done 4 spots before, so I had to like make sure it works.
Hell
It's
yeah.
It looks
like
great.
it looks fine on that like 2-inch by 1-inch screen, but then once you get it on like an actual YouTube video, it's like oh fuck.
Yeah,
the
the
fucking
crops.
one camera was in the middle the whole time. So
be
hopefully it worked out okay.
All right.
But
Yeah.
hey,
Bet.
thank you guys very
I
much.
love
Thank
the
you,
show.
brother.
This show
Hell
is
yeah. That
awesome.
was dope.
I love that there's a bunch of people at One Love that are, in the content making space. I think within the next year, I think One Love's gonna, jump in prestige, and
hope so.
we're gonna fucking blow up.
Absolutely. Fucking
Whether it
love
be
it.
No Credentials,
We're gonna be
whether it
one
be
wave.
One Love, whether it be Rolls on Rolls. I mean, we're all in this together.
Yeah,
making
100%.
awesome content.
All right. We'll
close her out.
follow. Go ahead.
So let's close her out.
All right. We'll follow at Rolls on Rolls on Instagram. You can follow each of these motherfuckers through the caption on the whatever it's called.
Be like Gordon Ryan because he follows us.
He followed us.
Do you want to be like Gordon Ryan or don't you?
Yeah.
Because Gordon Ryan follows Rolls on Rolls.
That is
He's the
true.
goat.
That is
He
the
is the
truth.
goat.
With
So-
some cheese on.
Alrighty. Let's go get some grub, boys.
Should we go eat some food?
Yeah.
Let's go eat. All right.
Sushi time.
Thank you, boys. That was fun. Let's go.
Whoa.
That was sick.
Hell yeah.
I think I just got more drunk taking it. You're in a fucking dress.
Isn't it interesting? Like the headphones like changes the game, doesn't it?
Whoa.
It like it makes like a conversation that you're like, yo, like it locks you in more.
I
like
want
it.
to only have conversations like that.
It's a fun time. It's a fun way to have a conversation.
Yeah, it's